blockchains, knock 'em out the box, out my docks, man. Key ring full of water data. I gotta pray that my ASIC incinerators blow the mind like a creeper one time. In my circus define a fine way to keep the power bill in check. My equipment is starting to sweat from the heat. Crypto anarchy becoming a threat. So you know rappers like to rock pools. I got pools you can't swim in, but I'm collecting a spice like a premise. So you fools get stepping and get to choosing your weapon, because the definite roar of indefinite war is epic. I found a new way to debit the people. I generate an address and I generate a sequel. I get medieval when I'm taking payments, cause I don't want the NSA all stuck up in my anus. Yeah, I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm staring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living. You know rappers like to sell drugs, but you do it on the streets and you dead it in Google Buzz or Google Plus. There's a road made of silk if you must. Get your hustle out of chemical rush, avoiding the brush with the law. Stop them all cause they got it anonymous. The ones that play it stupid, they get thrown in the bottomless pit. Don't even know how to cut up them layers of the onion. So let the players play pumpkin. Hash function, pumping and dumping. Manipulate the market, flooded from the darknet, flooded from the deep web. Keep it a secret, every exchange got the nerdy brains trading on the frequent. Wonder where the leak went. They left the cement, looking for the promised land, all not beaming. Up Scotty, this the future decentralized swag. Keep the work in your laptop bag. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living. You know rappers can't pay bills, face the tax implications of evasion when they stack meals. Got a homie Phil Deuce one, taught me the solution. Dumping all this knowledge from the booth, son. Anyone can learn it if you put in the work and research on how to line it, just a fraction of your worth in the dirt. Like Jesus said, keep your bones under verse, cause there ain't no telling when that bubble go in the verse. You know rappers say they about the future, but you ain't Marty McFly till you bought kombucha from a supermarket with them Bitcoins. Do you get your Charlie Sheen greens off computer screens from the Philippines? Grab them leaves, knocked off Louis V's. Try to freeze my assets, long on is the cash in the mattress. Now it's all tied up in hashes, wrapped up in encrypted badges. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living.
Diesel automatic, you know what I do. Get big on them. You know, a very special person once said, never give up, you will always find your way. I've been grinding for all my life. I was blind but I found my sight. I'ma use my heart as a guiding light. Through the darkest days I'ma shine so bright. Nothing you do, nothing you say can stop me now. There ain't no way. I'ma keep my faith till my dying day. I will not give up till I find my way. I'ma find my way. I am on a mission, I know that I'm gonna find my way. I got tunnel vision, I'm only seeing the light of day. This is my religion, before I lay every night I pray. Hoping you gon' listen to what it is that I'm trying to say. Hope floats and fear will make you drown in sorrow. Lord knows you could be here today and gone tomorrow. Live for the moment only, count each and every blessing. Although the road is lonely, I'm about to get to stepping. Until my final breath of vision's what I'm manifesting. I make a life and death decision, never second guessing. My heart's a light and it's guiding me in the best direction. I'm shining bright and I'm finding my way through self-reflection. Cheer, you could say this is my resurrection. I can't settle for anything other than perfection. Nah, I'm trying to be the best that I could be. If you could see what I could see, then you know ain't no stopping me. Grinding for all my life. I was blind but I found my sight. I'ma use my heart as a guiding light. Through the darkest days I'ma shine so bright. Nothing you do, nothing you say can stop me now. There ain't no way. I'ma keep my faith till my dying day. I will not give up till I find my way. I'ma find my way. I never gave up, so I found my way eventually. If not, I will be dead or locked up in a penitentiary. Getting big is growing up and being who you're meant to be. Courage is the virtue needed to fulfill your destiny, especially when facing life's obstacles and challenges. And fear makes it feel like it's impossible to handle it. I know the feeling of being afraid to choose, being afraid to love and being afraid to lose. This life is crazy, I know it's so confusing. Sometimes you feel like losing your mind because you're choosing to focus upon the issues for which there are no solutions. There's no changing the past and the future is an illusion. You wanna be great, you gotta take a leap of faith. You will never meet your fate if you choose to keep it safe. Nah, you gotta be bigger, stronger, braver, and bolder. Never give up, cause it ain't over till it's over. I've been grinding for all my life. I was blind, but I found my sight. I'ma use my heart as a guiding light. Through the darkest days, I'ma shine so bright. Nothing you do, nothing you say can stop me now. There ain't no way. I'ma keep my faith to my dying day. I will not give up till I find my way. I'ma find my way. Life is a journey full of decisions. Every choice we make will ultimately result in the consequences that make us who we are. Creating our own destinies, you know. And we're all destined for greatness. We just lose sight of that. You know, we let that fear creep in, that voices in our head telling us we're not meant to do it. We find ourselves in circumstances and situations that are seemingly overwhelming, and we feel like quitting, we feel like backing down, like this ain't meant for me. But that's not true. You gotta dig deep inside of yourself, find that courage. Don't listen to your mind, let your heart guide you. You know what I'm saying? Be the person that you're meant to be and get big on it. I've been grinding for all my life. I was blind, but I found my sight. I'ma use my heart as a guiding light. Through the darkest days, I'ma shine so bright. Nothing you do, nothing you say can stop me now. There ain't no way. I'ma keep my faith to my dying day. I will not give up till I find my way. I will find my way. Find my way. Will find my way. You will find your way. Will find our way. Never give up. Will find my way. Find my way. Will find my way. Find my way. Will find your way. You gon' find your way. Will find our way. Never give up.
To combat the avaricious businessman, the demagogic politician, and the fascist pig cops who murder, brutalize, and terrorize the people. The future. I am the very near future. A revolutionary.
Everywhere, but the kids is gang banging. There ain't no war on drugs, it's a war on the hood. The Democrats and Republicans, both up to no good. They both got in bed with the multinationales. They sending us to prison instead of sending us to college. The janitor's mop can't clean the situation when the dictator of our nation is called a corporation. Swear to God and my mama never supported Obama. I'm a Chicago riot starter like a Haymarket martyr. I'd rather focus on the streets, organizing the tribes. Go against the grain and know that I tried. I'm not into working backwards, I'm talking direct action. I'm talking fighting for freedom for the poor and working classes. I would work for reform, this is for my unborn. I'm putting on a ski mask and this weapon is drawn. This is the culture of violence in which I've grown up. They say grow up, make a living in these miserable conditions. Schools look more like prisons and they shutting down the clinics. If employment ain't an option, you ain't got shit, what you do? Where you go if you foreclose, then your payment past due. Ask you, is it worth it? The earth on its last pulses, all in bloodthirsty, they raping the resources. Things is getting darker, but it's light that I offer. No divide and conquer, I'm talking people power. I was ticking, hurry, hurry, get your ticket for the future. Identify the problems and move on to the solutions. You should be involved, build, show love. That's step number one. Before we shooting dumb guns, run, copper, we united. No more internal fighting, might just run up on the precinct. No justice, no peace, this is
revolutionary. Bob hit the nail on the head when he fell on his deathbed. The streets ran red with blood, sweat, and tears. It was too many years for liberation, colonization, enslaved the whole nation. Cecil stole that, called it rhodesia. Too many white folks catching amnesia. How convenient, history is not an agreement. I guess it's based on how you see it. Nah, we're wrong, Mugabe's right, we gotta fight. It's related to Africa. Africa's our land, the future's in our hands. Now here's a list of our demands. Reparations for what you stole. The people, the land, the diamonds, the gold. Stop the bombing us, Leo Coons, Uncle Toming us, selling us your empty promises. The economists propagandizing what time it is. Fuck that digital shit. Back up off our nuts a little bit and let's take it back to the futuristic. I testify as a material witness. These motherfuckers is too sadistic. If you got some melanin, you can get with this. X that, if you hear this, that's the business.
Africa, the rightful land of we forefather was stolen away by thief and robber. The king feed will and take away the silver. They take away the woman but not the culture. You take a little thing black man a fight for. We want back the land that we forefather. Christopher Columbus was a rascal liar. To be quite precise, he was a friggin' robber.
Soon we'll find out who is the real revolutionary. Kwame Nkrumah, Sekou Toure, Thomas Sankara, the leaders of tomorrow, the future Garvey, the future Lumumba, the future Bikos, the future heroes. Let's celebrate a free Zimbabwe, we doing it our way. A national holiday, no more imperialism. Not today, fuck the IMF, fuck the World Bank. United States of Africa, not African. Do you think I'm dumb? I know where I'm from, the continent. I ain't claiming no block, you got me bit. I meant what I said and said what I meant. Obama ain't my president, that's just white power in the blackface. This about liberation, not race.
The signs are all around us, the writings in the way. You know this what to look for, the message will be clear. The read between the lines and pick the sense from nonsense. No be fooled by the lies, politics, false pretense. Mental slavery keeps us blinded. Lies block the truth. To stop collaborating, they divide us into groups. Racialism, prejudice, sexism, to name a few. Unity is strength, so they divide us and rule. Burn up.
Let me see you stand up. Put your hands up. Let me see you stand up. Put your hands up. Let me see you stand up. Put your hands up. Let me see you stand up. Put your hands up. Let me see you stand up. Put your hands up. Let me see you stand up. Put your hands up. Let me see you stand up. Put your hands up. Let me see you stand up.
Oh, if we trust them and them a move so illegal. Them kill the innocent over the island with diesel. Them wicked and deceitful, and I go on like them regal. Free money is inevitable. We tell you say we wanna be free. Get to youths free. Get to youths free from the mental slavery. Get to your youth, we wanna be free. Free, free. Fight for your rights.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You may be arrested and/or subject to other police. The use of riot control agents, which could cause risk of injury to those who remain.
And we are live now.
Yeah, wow.
Welcome to tonight's show, guys. We've got a guest here tonight from the Sable Trail pipeline protest to give us some updates about that. We're going to be talking about Standing Rock, the incident that happened out in Anaheim, couple interesting things in Bitcoin news, and yeah, that's about it for tonight. So what up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, family?
Brother.
Well, since we got Josh here, we want to start off. You can tell us a little bit about what's been going on the last few days out there in Florida.
For sure. Yesterday we had calling down to Tallahassee and trying to get them to bring attention to what's going on down in Denellen, and also two protectors went and locked themselves down into the construction pipe in an attempt to get them to stop construction, as well as demanding, their demands were that the EIP come and do another reevaluation of the pipeline and the construction and the way that they're handling it out there. So they spent the day trying to get these two individuals out, and have charged them with 3 separate felonies. One of these including grand theft of between $20,000 and $30,000, they say, because apparently while these people were in the pipeline, they were stopping the use of this pipeline that's only being constructed and not actually being used, but supposedly they stole, like they were cutting into their profits, so they got them for stealing, pretty much, is why they're being charged with grand theft. For stealing time.
Well, Florida has a law that makes any trespassing on any construction site an automatic felony, right?
Yes. I'm actually one of the first 14 individuals that was arrested during the Sable Trail protest actions here a few months ago.
Right.
We have court coming up on the 27th.
How many days did you do in jail?
Charged. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many days did you do it?
They charged us with felony trespassing. Also in Florida, it is a felony to commit a crime while wearing a mask, hood, or other face covering.
Wow.
So they charged me with felony wearing a mask in the commission of a crime,
A felony for
and
a
then
mask?
criminal mischief.
That's outrageous.
Yes.
Wow, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, DC has the same thing with protests. You can't protest with a mask on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Here in Belgium too, they started a month ago the same year, and when we wear a mask, we have felonies.
Wow, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
They've
Well, masks aren't conducive to, facial recognition technology in play.
Right, exactly.
So
We're all anonymous.
So, what if you just wear a lot of theater makeup?
I mean, why don't you just like compare our masks to our Facebook profiles? Because like
You see,
that
mine's
would
the
be
most ridiculous one.
that would be the real winner right there. Because like, look, we all have different painted up masks, or we all wear different bandanas. They're pretty distinguishable, man. You can pick us out of a crowd.
Mine got painted by accident.
Yeah.
Your mask looks like it's been through hell, dude.
I'm a messy painter.
Well, one of the things that we've seen with this pipeline, though, like that has led to what I believe is part of the aggressive action from all the local police departments, is they've come through and they've dropped tens of thousands of dollars in like they'll donate to the libraries, or they'll donate to the schools, or they'll donate to the police departments all along in these towns that they're running this pipeline by. They're
Out down side roads. I mean, it's just a small little town, man.
oh yeah, the biggest thing that happens in that town are the music festivals.
Fucking bribers. Those bribing bastards.
But the Swanee River, like the Swanee River is a huge part of the culture down there, though. Like even that was one thing in Swanee County. We found that the police department out there kind of tried to give us as much leeway as possible. They even during some of our bigger actions, they had to bring in Florida Highway Patrol and other county police, because the Swanee County Police, they don't want the pipeline there any more than we do. But we found counties like Gilchrist County to be extremely dirty and corrupt. They arrested one lady because they drove by the site that the 14 of us were arrested at, and she got out of a vehicle to take pictures, and they arrested her for trespassing.
So this is happening all over the United States.
I mean, it's even set to go underneath the Everglades, and I'm amazed at who was able to sell the private, the public land, the Everglades, as a state park, to this private corporation.
As I live, not even to mention the desecration of indigenous artifacts and land that's going on down here by the construction workers. The Swanee River, up until the rains that we've had recently, has been at the lowest point that I've personally ever seen it. And,
they're tainting Roosevelt's legacy.
I think Roosevelt tainted his own legacy, just like every other president.
They're out there finding all these artifacts and desecrating these burial sites and stuff, even down here in Florida, and there's no reporting on it. We've tried to get several people in trouble with
critics are concerned
the feds if we can, because they've been posting pictures online of like stuff that they would make out of arrowheads and different artifacts that are
60% of Florida's
supposed to be
drinking
federally
water.
protected.
Additionally, the $3 billion pipeline is set to run by the Crystal and Suwannee Rivers, two sanctuaries for endangered species. Now, 84,000 residents have signed a petition demanding the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers conduct an environmental impact
over the past few months, like I've made a journey to North Dakota,
the Sable Trail pipeline.
Came back down here to Florida. I've had a chance to sit down with several elders and sit and listen in many circles, and there's a lot of knowledge out there, and
it'll contaminate our
really
waters,
fucked up what's going on because of corporate greed. Like this pipeline is running through Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, and the fracked gas that they're running through it isn't even going to be used domestically. Like there's people spreading these rumors that this is to help with Florida's energy independence, but they're sending it overseas for refinement to sell it back to us at top dollars. So we're gonna, be making any money off of this.
Well, wow. So what are we going to do to stop this? That's my question.
Yeah.
Well,
I already know how fucked up it is. Let's talk about what we're going to do about it.
With that, right now, Denellen is the kind of the focal point for most people's attention needs to be. We have, there is, with the Sable Trail, if you look up the Sable Trail Resistance on Facebook, you can contact them and get of an action house that's been rented downtown there that has got people constantly working on keeping people's awareness up to date, and then also anybody that can get down here. I've got a few dollars, and we're trying to establish a full-time action camp down there in Denellen to hold them there as long as possible. Really, if people, Denellen, Florida, yeah. We have, I'm in my car right now, so I don't have the name of the reservation that they're going through right now, but they're going through some reservation land down there in the area.
Are you committing some kind of felony being on your phone right now?
Huh?
Hey, Joshua.
Yes.
I know that a lot of the veterans were taking a stand with y'all. Are they down there in as big as numbers as they were saying they were going to be, or what?
As far as like a show of numbers, there hasn't been a show of numbers. I've heard there's been word that we're gonna have this support and we're gonna have that support and that people are gonna show up and blah blah blah. But there's only been I don't mean to sound like rude about it, but there's only been like a handful of people that have actually shown up. I keep hearing about this we're gonna have this veteran support. We're supposed to have these veterans show up, and I've only met a couple of the representatives that have come down. I guess there hasn't been anything going on here that they feel the need to come down and force and support like that yet.
Right.
I would like to put the idea out there to anybody listening and anybody that's willing to do this, to start just camping on the sides of the roads out by the job site. I mean, you can camp there overnight, and then like just if we have to every day pack up in the morning and be demonstrating, but start a nonstop presence. There needs to be, that's kind of like the biggest thing we can do to throw kinks in their system, is not only like stop their trucks, maintain a presence big enough that for one, we're safe doing that, because the police out here are aggressive. So in small numbers, we're all just going to be catching more charges. And
pipeline like where you guys are protesting, isn't that right by this place where they throw music festivals, like literally right across the road? Isn't that what
yes.
So I mean, like, how big is the possibility of camping in this festival ground? Like, has anyone gone and talked to these people? Isn't that one's run by a native tribe, isn't it?
The Swanee Music Park, Live Oak is no longer a very active protest site. They've already pushed the pipe under the Swanee River, so they are down in the Denellen area. The music park the only music park that I can think of is the one in Live Oak, and the pipe itself is going under the river a couple miles upstream.
So hold on, we can say, hey, we can have a campaign that says this. We can have a Live Oak Live.
No.
Well, one of the problems that we had with getting Live Oak support with our actions down there is the Swanee Music Park was housing a bunch of the construction workers, so they couldn't do anything that placed an opinion on what was going on apparently, and so now we have talk of them hosting a benefit music festival or something, but using it as a viable location to camp and be productive against the pipeline is just unrealistic. It's a good 3 hours north of the most active drill site right now.
We gotta hike in. You gotta hike in. You gotta put your hiking boots on.
I mean, a 3 hour drive turns into a really long walk. We've got a few spots
How long did it take?
Is that what today was?
That's what I'm saying. They can camp on the side of the side of the road type thing. We need to maintain the presence.
In the fire camp, they work their ass off. The fire camp ain't no joke.
As long as if we get more people coming down here to do this, we can do whatever. One of the biggest problems we've had is actually having physical support. We've had
I come join you, brother, but I'm facing a trial right now. I'm doing my trial and facing 20 years, trying to get 20 years, something I didn't do. So I've scanned in about half the documents, but it's 169 documents, but otherwise I'd be out there, you know what I mean? But I'm representing myself, and it's really, really hard. But I'll be out there with you.
Well, if you guys check out my Facebook page or check out the Sable Trail Resistance Facebook page and the Stop Sable Trail Facebook page, they both are kept updated with the events that we've got going on and with the different actions and news that's being updated as far as progress in our fight. So those are two great sources to start getting plugged in for anybody that's interested in trying to get this started. Within the next week, we're going to have another camp set up. That's the goal.
What can people do that all around the world? Like, what can the international people do?
What can the international people do?
Yeah,
I mean,
they can't fly over here probably because of Trump. You know, Trump won't even let him in. Trump. So how could they?
Raising awareness is a really huge help, like spreading the information, getting people talking about it and knowing what's going on. That helps loads. You'd be surprised how many people don't even realize what's going on. I've talked to people that thought they were building a house in the back of their yard, didn't know that they were putting a pipeline like within a stone's throw. And if that pipeline explodes or something happens, they're incinerated immediately. Like they're dead. It's a 5-mile blast radius.
What the fuck?
The new pipeline. Apple that was up like 90-something% already complete. Pipeline, right?
Yo, 5-mile blast radius. Jesus Christ.
Well, they just had back in late November, early December, one of these natural gas pipelines explode in southern Alabama.
Right.
And that's the same company that's building this pipeline. Actually, Spectre Energy has a history of shoddily built pipelines that leak and bust. And so it's not a matter of if is this going to happen, is when is this going to happen, and how much of a toll is the Florida aquifer going to take on it.
Sorry I'm saying this, but in Europe, they building a lot of pipelines too, but we never have accidents there. It never, it's strange. And Holland too, in the Netherlands, they are pumping now gas out the earth, and they are protesting now too, and we are protesting too for Standing Rock, but we do what we can in Europe, you know, but we cannot go to Standing Rock to the United States and help them, you know, but...
So this is happening all over the world. They're building these pipelines everywhere.
Yeah,
my God,
everywhere,
the world will be crisscrossed with them.
It's true.
Look at New Orleans. Look at the bayou and the destruction and how much of the bayou's been destroyed by the oil companies. Like
it's sucking the earth dry, man.
They're actually not sucking it dry. They're pumping chemicals down in to pollute our fucking drinking water, so that you end up turning your faucet on and you got flames coming out of it. You know, if you take a match.
Oh yeah. The methane leaking into.
When is enough enough?
We're gonna have chemtrails at us from both directions.
I mean, I know I shouldn't be touching that much. Yeah. You know, really, that's the truth of it.
I see both directions. Shit.
They're fracking down here in Florida as well. That's another thing that's been passed. Is like they're fracking up there near in the Panhandle.
Well, did you see the big sinkhole that had 215 million of radioactive water in it?
Yeah, it was a company, and so there was this slow leak in their storage silo for this radioactive material. Now, granted, in small numbers, I mean, this stuff appears naturally in the world. So, like in small numbers, the radioactivity that this stuff produces really isn't that big of a deal. But like, this is tons of it that has been slowly leaking into our aquifer. They're saying that they cleaned it up, but how are you going to radiation poisoning and a slow leak that's had time to like mix itself into the aquifer like cleanly? How the fuck are you going to clean that out?
You cannot clean this up. It takes 100 years before you clean this up.
What was the topic again? I forgot. What were we talking about? How do we get on radioactive water?
That's a lot of water.
What were we talking about? We were talking about the pipeline right before that. We talking about the police yet?
Oh yeah. So in Anaheim, you guys want to bring that up?
Do that.
Okay, so we had I saw the video today. I believe it was an off-duty LAPD officer from my hometown. I believe the incident happened in Anaheim. And I believe it was like over jaywalking, or the kid was actually on
his lawn.
property.
He was on his lawn. He was walking on the lawn.
And you see the kid. You see the off-duty cop grabbing the kid.
The kid said, "Fuck you,
the kid says, like, let me go several times. Him and his buddies are trying to get off from school. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
and
that's what they said.
They had another kid that jumps in, pushes the guy. Nobody knows this guy is an officer.
He pulls out a gun.
He pulls out the guy, and he pulls out a gun. Pulls out a
gun. There was no gun around. He pulled it out because all these teenagers wanted to help the kid. You know what I mean? All these teenagers you can't do that.
Here's the deal: is that you know the guy doesn't identify as a cop. This is over fucking some bullshit. None of these kids look like they're over fucking like 14 years old. Okay. How are any of them?
The kid in question was 13.
He never says that. I never heard it one time. I'm a police officer. You're under citizen's arrest. I didn't hear anything like that.
Oh no, he did say it. He finally said it when the kid spoke up and said to the guy, he was like, dude, you need to quit. My dad's a police officer, and he's like, I don't care. I'm a police officer. I'll explain this to him when he gets here.
Well, here's the deal: is that I saw them dragging the kid for at least 5 fucking minutes before anything.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 houses. This dude drags this kid down.
But isn't that a citizen's arrest though? He's not. Just because you're an off-duty officer doesn't mean you go around arresting.
Well, here's the deal: is that the what he was doing was unjustifiable. It was totally against any protocol that I know about. You know what I'm saying? Over walking across the street.
Well, okay, so no, what happened was this girl like stepped off into his yard, I guess a little too far into his grass, walking down the sidewalk, and this obvious redneck here, spouts off at this brown girl, hey, get the fuck off my lawn, cunt. And the kid spoke up for the girl. It's like, what the hell, dude? And this cop couldn't stand having someone, stand up to him like that. So he had to, punish this kid. And then so now the story is that the kid threatened to kill the man. So that's why he detained him.
I never heard
No. What I'm hearing from the press is that the press is saying, or somebody is saying that the kid threatened to pull a gun on an off-duty officer, and I'm just like, this is stereotypical bullshit. You will see, from the press or from wherever it needs to be, so they can cover for the fucking cops. Hello?
What the hell?
All right. Well, I do want to comment on the fact about how he only discharged this gun, and I'm letting the video play in.
Pull a gun out on these kids there's no justification for that.
There was not actually.
Well, I mean, he's got the gun. Well, look, he's got the gun in his hand, and he's using the gun hand to grab the kid by the pants and pull him over the bushes. Like,
it was not accidental. It was not accidental. He fucking pointed the gun before he shot it. That's on purpose. It was not accidental.
Oh, okay. See, it looks like in the video when it actually goes off.
That's on purpose.
Oh, okay. See, it looks like in the video.
I'm going to show the video. Watch this.
Yeah, man, you see it.
I'm going to show the
video. It's playing on the live stream.
Yeah, it's on playing on live stream now.
He pushed them over. Let's get a different. There's quite a few different videos at this point.
That's attempted kidnapping right there, and child abuse and child endangerment.
We should study it together. Don't you think?
Different.
I think we should study it together.
Videos at this time. That's attempted kidnapping for that. And child abuse and child endangerment.
We should study it.
But this is the world that we're coming to, where you can, if you have a badge, whether you're on duty or off duty, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And, if anyone even looks at you the wrong way, you can fuck them up in the streets, and you're safe because you have a badge.
You know, if I had $1 for every time, because I had I have a long history with drugs and run-ins with the cops. If I had $1 for every time I had, I knew, I mean, I have a lot of these stories, where cops are just totally outside of their bounds, just doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. I even had one incident where
this is kidnapping, by the way. This is kidnapping.
Cops actually beating the shit out of me after I'm handcuffed and complying.
He's kidnapping that kid. He's kidnapping him.
That's
You
what
move
they like
someone
doing.
3 feet against their will.
Yeah.
I gotta go to jail for life for that. That's a life charge. It's a life. That's like that. He got warrant. That would be considered kidnapping. Because he moved him all that way. You see what I'm saying? He kept dragging him.
But it's not because he has a badge. And now it's because he has a badge. It's considered detaining this kid.
But he's not just detaining him. He's dragging him. See that?
I totally agree with you, but this is how they protect themselves. I have a badge, so I'm not kidnapping, I'm detaining.
Friends. You're worried about him. Hey, don't drag our friend away.
Yeah, but here's the deal: here's what's going on in my head just watching the video. It's like where exactly is this cop dragging the kid to? That's the scary thing.
Yeah, you see it now.
Who knows? It doesn't. These kids don't know. They're scared shitless. All the trauma to these children. They're going to grow up to be freaks.
They're probably going to grow up to be revolutionaries at this point.
Hopefully.
Everybody, I've noticed that everybody's just an incident or two away from completely snapping and joining the opposition, joining the revolution.
Point in life can we exit?
They might become anons.
That's right. They will become anons.
All right, we got some tech issues. We're getting reports of lag issues.
Their server can't handle us.
Yeah, I don't know where those are coming from.
What flag issues are we getting?
I don't know.
Refresh your browser.
There's like an echo every now and then, but it's not real bad.
Okay.
Okay, what's he doing here? He's dragging him to the ground now. He's wrestling.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
When he blew this guy over the bushes, he shoot.
He shot his gun. Yeah, everybody scattered like roaches.
He shot.
These kids were scared for their lives.
I imagine so. It's a group of black and brown kids, and you got this dude who definitely looks like your stereotypical white supremacist. Especially the kind of white supremacist you have out there in California, this, skinhead biker look.
Yep.
That's real big out there. If I was one of those kids, I'd be fucking terrified.
I'd be like,
surprised this kid didn't fucking piss himself,
I'd be fucking scared shitless if I was in high school, saw some guy dressed like that dragging one of my friends around. Fuck yeah, I'd be fucking scared.
Some of my friends are pretty scary looking like that.
I mean, dude, if I just saw this in my neighborhood, I would think that this guy is, assaulting this kid, attempting to murder this kid, or, attempting to abduct this kid, and I would either assault this guy or, if I had a weapon, I would discharge that weapon on him. This definitely is not acceptable action, especially to be an ununiformed officer. He's lucky that he didn't get shot by any, Second Amendment wielding civilian out there that had the balls to step up and do something about it.
He wouldn't do that in the hood.
I can tell you, I mean, even in where I live, we have a lot of dirty cops, and it has a bad reputation where I'm living. But I'm just saying, dude, like, if anybody came up to me, like, dressed like that, saying he's an officer, I wouldn't fucking even believe him, dude. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, how can a fucking 13-year-old distinguish between some guy who's dressed like a fucking white supremacist, like saying that he's a cop? I can't fucking believe you, dude.
Well, I wouldn't say white supremacists, because then, I think we should be tolerant of all beliefs. I wouldn't say white supremacist. Then I don't like to say white supremacist in a negative way. You call her a homo.
What way is there to say white supremacist?
I'm saying everyone has the right to their own beliefs as far as if they want to believe. If he wants to believe that white people are supreme, then let him believe that. But he has all the right in the world to believe what he wants to. That has nothing to do with him assaulting, kidnapping, scaring the shit out of a bunch of kids. You know, that's terror. That's like he's a terrorist. He created terror. Look at you see the terror. Everybody fleeing for their lives. That's a terrorist. That's terror. It's like he's a terrorist. Pretty terrifying. Everybody fleeing for their lives. That's a terrorist.
Don't fucking name
that echo.
Thank you.
Oh shit! I gotta get rid of that. I guess.
But you know, I definitely agree with what these police are doing.
That's how to do.
But you know, I definitely agree with what these police are doing.
Firing a fire. There's a lot of charges against him.
I'm making sure it wasn't me.
Firing a fire. There's a lot of charges against him.
Making sure.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty, man.
See, if you look where the police just come to him, like they just walk up and he's like they check him real quick and then like they treat him so nicely. Like, dude, if that would have been any darker of a skinned man that fired a gun near a child like that.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
But no, because he has a badge, they're just so cool with him. It's this automatic, like, you can't be a criminal. You're a good guy. You're one of us. So, so we're just going to take you to the side and calmly talk to you. But if that was anybody else,
that's the reason we wear a mask. If everyone was wearing a mask, you wouldn't know what he looked like. You know what I mean? So that's one. Huh?
And told him that it was armed.
What if it was just an anonymous person doing it? What the fuck?
Well, it's pretty obvious. The cop felt threatened, right? I mean,
what about the kids? What about the kids?
Why wouldn't you just let go of him? If the kid wants to run, he makes a call. I mean, you can't. It's a child.
Because this kid smarted off to this white supremacist with a fucking badge, so he's going to do something and send this kid to jail. That's his goal. Is he's going to send this kid to jail for smarting off to his superior white badge wielding ass. And, you know, that's his whole reason of abducting this child, is he wants to punish him.
We don't know that. We don't know that for sure.
What else would it be?
He could have a black wife for all we know.
They should take his ass to jail.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to dox this guy so we can see for sure what he's about. But
there it is.
Officer?
That's what I'm talking about. Initiative.
I think his actions speak pretty loudly as to what this man's all about. I mean, who calls a 13-year-old child a cunt for stepping on your blade of grass?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, dude, I tell you what, if somebody called my daughter a cunt for some shit like that, the kid smarting off in defense of the girl would be the least of his worries. I'd be back at this officer's house myself just for smarting off to my child like that.
Well, I heard they had a protest yesterday.
Yes. Let's comment on that for a second. They did have a protest there, and these motherfuckers went hard and smashed out his windows, smashed his truck. Like, they black blocked this motherfucker's house. And honestly, I think that's what needs to start happening. These cops overstep their bounds like this. They shouldn't feel safe to go home. If we can't be safe on the streets, they shouldn't feel safe in their own fucking home.
You're damn right there.
Yeah.
I agree. Right there, brother.
100% correct.
I mean, we went to file a complaint once on a cop, and we were told if we didn't leave that we'd pick up another charge.
Yeah, that was for me filming the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. I got arrested and charged with nonviolent resisting arrest. And I stood on my front porch and talked to them for 30 fucking minutes before they decided to arrest me.
Wait, is that Hillsborough County in Florida?
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I doxed the sheriff out there like a couple of years ago.
They went down to file a complaint, and we were told we better walk out before we picked up more charges.
I got all kinds of horror stories and shit that I've had.
I woke up in the hospital the next day. I said, "What the hell happened?" They said, "You got arrested. You were beaten. You were beaten by the police." And then check it out. I did 5 years almost, right? And then I get out from prison, and I have a bill for the one night I spent in the hospital. The hospital charged me like $35,000, and I never got a bill. I never signed anything. I never, you know what I mean? And then because I was late in payments because I was in prison, they taxed on $20,000 in interest, some shit. And I ended up owing. And so it ruined my credit, though. That's the point. So by the time I got out of prison, I had no credit. You know what I mean? I was fucked. They fucked me.
On hospital bills, you can actually challenge all those and get them pulled off your credit.
I did.
Oh.
Yeah, you better fucking believe I did. That's not fair, you know. So anyway, it's been rough, man. Especially when you're coming out of prison after that long, you got nothing, you know. And
I did 5 years in Texas, bro. I fully understand, man.
So yeah, you know how it is when you're first starting out. You want to, I should have good credit by now, you know.
No, but
everything's gonna fall off my report.
In our comments right now, they said, "How do people get arrested with the only charge being resisting arrest?"
I've never understood that.
I even have an anon out here that
$100,000 bond.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And he got a resisting arrest, and it literally all you got to do is pull away from the officer, and you got resisting arrest.
Or not give information.
Yeah. I'm on a $130,000 bond right now.
When he went to jail, it was a $100,000 bond for.
Mine was 130.
Mine was 100,000 because I was illegal and I came from Europe, you know. And I'm not kidding you.
It's outrageous.
I'm
not illegal, bro. Unlawful.
Nobody can. That's
usually.
usually.
100,000 because you on the child.
Longer than you told him you would.
Oh fuck!
What did Boginga say? I didn't hear him.
When they arrested me in Oklahoma, the cop, I was illegal, you know. My wife called the cops on me because I was illegal, and they shoot 2 times. The cops shoot 2 times to me, next to me, and
at you.
For what?
At you.
I was only illegal, you know, and he shoot 2 times next to me, and he say, "The 3rd time I'm gonna shoot you," bam, and they arrest me.
Okay.
They put me in jail for 6 months.
Dance.
Were you in Tulsa County when they grabbed you?
Making you dance, huh?
Did they keep you in Tulsa County or no?
Yeah, I was at Tulsa.
Yeah, they're fucked up there, man. It tastes me.
Yeah, I'm fucked up. I was there for 4 months.
There, man.
I was there for 4 months, man.
They told me to give them my fucking clothes, and I was like, "Fuck you, man! I'm a human. I ain't giving you my fucking clothes." And they tased the fuck out of me, dude.
Have you guys ever been through jail and then you get that one guy who comes through the loop with no clothes, and you're wondering like, what the fuck happened to you, buddy?
He's wearing a banana hammock. He's wearing a banana hammock. That's it. Banana hammock and boots.
No, I've been that person, so I never have to worry about what happened.
Well, let's get back to the topic. The topic is the divide. I want to talk about the divide between the cops and us and them. The divide. Let's talk about the divide.
All right. Well, the divide technically happening because the Supreme Court said that their job was to enforce unjust laws. So cops are your enemies. Period. Like that was the rule. Their job is to enforce laws, and not all laws are just.
How about this? I have a good comment on this. I was in my pretrial because I'm representing myself, and anyway, so all they had for pretrial was the detective, and the detective told them what the statements were. The guy didn't have to come in and testify himself. No, Proposition 115 allows the detective to make statements as if it's not hearsay. Whatever he says that someone else says, there's no such thing as you can't object hearsay. You can't do that.
You're exactly right.
It's fucking ridiculous.
If you make an affidavit, and try to present it, they'll dismiss your affidavit as hearsay.
Right.
But they'll say the officers is not hearsay.
Right. How is that fair? Hey, check this out. This is even worse. Check this law out. Okay, if you accidentally kill someone, it's manslaughter. You get maybe 5 to 10, 15 years, depending on the brutality in your record. But if you accidentally kill a police officer, it's murder. Automatic murder, even if it's an accident.
Yeah.
Pure accident.
Are we having tech issues?
Why do you keep saying that? I don't see anything wrong.
I think it's on your right, bud.
That pig was on in the room.
So, they're all moved out of North Dakota now, right?
Well, nah, they just evicted those 2 camps today. They still have the Sacred Stone camp. They evicted the main protest camp and then a smaller one back across the river.
Them? How did they evict them? Did they go in there and beat them to death and drag their lifeless bodies out of there?
Of course not.
They just left.
Pretty much. There was only a handful that stayed till the final moments.
What was their names?
They went to jail. I couldn't tell you.
Remember, we were supposed to get their names. The names in the count.
Well, our guy there, I was a little worried about him, but, he's still posting, so there are still people there, so.
Yeah, because if these people get arrested and sent to jail, we need to send them letters. We need to send them support. Like email.
Yeah, that's straight up right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, they want to hear from their anonymous brothers. Hey, man, good job. Thank you for supporting the cause. Here's an email. Stay up, keep your head up, keep your thank you. Just a thank you letter, right? Something. I didn't get shit when I went to jail. I was pissed.
Even if it's just a fucking happy face on a piece of paper.
Yeah, even if it's like a mask on the paper with using ASCII or something cool. Who gives a fuck? Something, anything, just an empty piece of paper, just a blank piece with your name on it.
Just give him your fucking name at mail call.
Right. Yep.
Well, there's been over 750 arrested. You're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there's over 750 of us. Everybody pick a fucking name and write a letter.
That's it. Or write one letter and just, everybody throw in a little bit for fucking stamps. Right here in Hillsboro, they won't even let you get a letter. You can get a postcard, and that's it.
My county, you can get emails.
Yeah?
Yeah. San Diego County. Get email.
But even in Hillsboro with the commissary, you can only get 1 week.
But no, I mean the letters you can get every day. You can get every day. You can have that.
A postcard
in the mail. All right. But yeah, anyway, I think that's a good idea. Like we should if we can't do that, then what can we do?
Yeah, that's straight up, man.
Thank you.
That's real.
Thank you.
I got a printer. I can afford like $5 worth of stamps,
Oh, well, fuck. How many letters is that? That's 10 letters.
That's a few.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, is there 750 people arrested right now in jail? How many are there? Should we know that?
I think there's
the exact number.
Over 750 have been arrested. And some of them are getting federal charges. It's a low number.
Let's find out who's in jail right now and write them a letter. That's a good idea. I think that's the least we can do.
That's
real. We can be there. I mean, at least the people who were.
Now they had a big legal fund, set up there with several million, but I'm not here. From what I'm hearing from you, they're not being totally abandoned, but they're not really getting the kind of help they were promised. When I was there was like lawyers who were committing themselves to like take care of cases of anybody that might get arrested, but the promises fell by the wayside pretty quick.
That's typically how it happens. It's all about the dollar.
Yeah, they got their money, and now you're costing them money.
Was that
Exactly.
Park or something that got supposedly all the veterans together to go up there, and he ripped off over $1 million in funds that was for the veterans to go up to Dapple?
Yeah, they got their money, and now you're costing them money.
Was that Wesley Park or something?
It's Tyler, huh? You got that echo going.
Together to go up there and ripped off over $1 million
I love it.
funds that was for the veterans to go up to Dapple?
They got their money, and now you're costing them money.
That's crazy. All right, so Are we all listening to what we just said?
Yeah.
Who is that echo coming from? That's pretty serious.
From Tyler. That's from Tyler. We're all watching him talk.
What?
There you go.
Oh, my bad. I was checking the live feed. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It happened to me.
You got quiet for a minute. I was like, what?
All right, yeah, we gotta. All right, so let's get back on topic. So what was the topic again? It was police brutality, right? The divide. I want to talk about the divide. Like, how do we divide it completely so that it's us and them, completely black and white? You know what I mean? Like, there's a little gray where people are still kind of trusting them, right? So how do we just completely divide us, like a solid divide?
We start arresting officers.
Yeah. Put them in the backyard and let the people have their justice with them.
I'll tell you, guys, the common law has been after this, starting to arrest elected officials thing for like a year, but man, they're so corrupt. I mean, they're just like Big Brother is. But I mean, their intention is good. It's just the whole upper hierarchy of the common law is just fucking polluted, man. I mean, I think they have better intentions than the assholes who are really being the big crooks. But I mean, it's still, no matter what, it's a political game, you know. It's fucking ridiculous.
We got a new joiner.
Who's here?
I don't know. I don't know who's on there.
Okay, so we got a whole bunch of people from Florida. We got people from Louisiana,
Belgium.
Where else?
Texas,
Arizona,
Chicago,
Ferguson.
Awesome.
Well, as far as what you were saying about that, getting that line clear, I think it's becoming on its own more and more every day. I mean, the police actions are speaking very loud, and every day they lose support. It's only a matter of time.
For the past.
So my roommate's sitting here, and like he's saying, whatever you see cops doing, just do back to them. If they grab somebody, grab the cop. If they're trying to arrest somebody, arrest the cop. Like, just tip for tat.
I agree.
You shoot them.
For these meetings I've been going to for the past year, on and off, man, every 2 weeks, I'm sitting in a room with 50 other people that are taking action in their local counties, man. They're going to city hall meetings. I mean, they're making a difference in the smaller communities that they come from. I mean, there's like seven counties represented at these meetings, out of 50 people, from 7 counties. And they're making a difference. It's a slow-going difference, but, I mean, to find 50 people show up every different week, every 2 weeks, that shows some dedication.
Yeah, I'm recruiting out here. I'm recruiting for all those interested in SoCal area. Hit me up on my page.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
I live in Arizona, Maricopa to be precise, one of the worst counties on the entire planet. We had our pile for a long time.
Oh, he's an asshole.
The guy is just brutal. Violations, human rights violations, civil rights violations. And
does he make
It's not just here. It's everywhere. And the police. It's become a police state. They're militarized. It's becoming worse.
Hey, this guy you're talking about, is he the guy with this like tent city prison?
Exactly.
Yeah, and he makes you wear.
Yeah, okay, fuck that guy.
He made all the inmates wear pink,
He's a total asshole.
Jumpsuits. One of my girlfriends got locked up over a DUI in Maricopa County, and she said it was the worst jail she's ever been to. Worst place she's ever been to.
I was just in jail, as we all know, and we had a riot with the cops. We had a riot with the cops, and they were okay. Check it out. So they're beating this kid. He's like 18 years old. We all see it because they're out in the day room, and everyone's locked in. And the kid, I guess, flipped him off and called him a name and insulted the guard or whatever. And so he pulled him out of his thing, and like 2 or 3 of them fucking beat his ass and were like, oh, he's screaming, oh. And then the stretcher comes, has to bring him out in a stretcher ring. So we all seen that. So I was like, so they put us on lockdown because they were afraid of the repercussions for 5 days, or 3 days. No, 3 days. It was a 3-day security lockdown. And so during that time, I made a giant sign. A giant sign. Anonymous, right? Boom, bow, boom, bow. I told everybody, like, I got everybody involved, like all the different the races, all the colors of creeds. You know, we all got together, everybody in the whole jail, because we're all segregated here in California. And so I had to, we got everybody together, and we took over the day room. We wouldn't let them in, and we wouldn't lock it down. Like they're like, lock it down yourselves. Like, no, fuck you. The guy threw something at the TV, broke the TV. Something like that, you know. We covered the video cameras with blankets and shit. We tied the doors so they couldn't get in. Like with sheets and shit. We had mattresses up against they were like old grill. They couldn't shoot at us. They were like sticking pepper ball, bing bing, trying to hit us with the pepper ball gun. We pushed our guns back. But then they threw, and then they ended up. We were there for like an hour and a half, just kicking it, like running around. Everyone just destroying the day room and shit.
Have you ever been in an institution, and I've seen this happen firsthand, where you actually find the deputies instigating riots?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
That's a thrill for them.
Yep.
And they ended up coming in with shock shields and fucking motorcycle helmets, you know, fully armored and fucking like robots. You know, they look like some out of fucking RoboCop or something. Right. They came at us hard. They threw some the flashbangs we were talking about last night. They threw some of those at us. First, you know, they opened the thing and whoop, they lobbed in a couple of them. Boom, boom, boom. Came in with a shotgun. Boom, boom. They're running for their lives, you know. But we had mattresses. We're blocking the blocks. The block gun. My mattress got clipped by one of the blocks. You know, fucking shit was crazy. But we ended up locking it down, and then they locked it down for another security lockdown for 3 days, and another 10 days, and we couldn't come out of ourselves for like 2 weeks. Anyway, prison. Nobody got written up. There was no charges filed or anything. Oh no, I don't know. That's my story.
The prison system is big business.
Here's the kicker. I went and hung the sign. You read the giant sign from the ceiling. It's like 30 feet high, about a 17-foot sign. Boom, boom, boom. So it was all under the anonymous banner. I'm sick. It was like, it was unity. It was true unity. All the different races don't get along in our jail. You know, well, they're not that they don't get along, but like we're segregated, we're separated. So,
now here's a weird thing that I came across since I moved out here, and I really wasn't aware of it until it's a weird law that was approved by one of the cities out here, the city of Elmhurst, and maybe a viewer can even that there is a city ordinance in Elmhurst where it is against the law to say a cuss word to a police officer. It's actually a fucking crime.
What is
Yeah.
And
somebody I knew out in Elmhurst was actually arrested for it. What happened was he was over at the train tracks, and he was trying to pull out of the parking lot, and the meter, the things that keep let you go in and out, it had malfunctioned and went on his car, and he was stuck, and yeah, and so like the fucking cop says like, he says like, you're destroying property, and the guy goes, fuck you, and arrests him for a verbal assault on a police officer.
Verbal assault? Oh my god, what a pussy.
This has to stop. It's got to stop. We got to do something about it. We got to start DDoSing these fucking police stations, man. The fuck? I'm upset.
Well, that's actually counterproductive in a lot of situations because of, well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of these systems have all these databases that people on the outside use to access information related to what's going on with their people locked up, and that's really who you're gonna hurt DDoSing a police station website.
What about a virus on their internal network?
Well, that's a completely different situation right there.
For fuck's sake, right? That's why we invented them. Who's a good? Oh, never mind. Well, you know what? It's just hypothetical. It's a hypothetical. You know, hypothetically.
Well, I don't know. I've even heard stories out here because when I was living out in that particular part of town, this one kid got a DUI, and it's all about who you know. And then he tells the police officer, and I didn't actually believe the story until I had asked around, whether the story was true or not. And apparently one of the kid that he had arrested had a DUI. Was the governor's son of some fucking county or some shit like that, or whatever. And it turned out to be fucking true.
Okay.
They let him go.
Just let him go.
Let's let him go.
Well, how did they let him go now? What happened again? Explain it.
So some kid out in Elmhurst was like, I guess his parents were. He knew somebody in. Was a governor's son or somebody in politics, and he had got a DUI, and he had told them who his dad was, and kid gets off, going scot-free,
Well, how did they do it? Did they delete that fucking file from the database? How was it done?
I don't know, brother.
No report is ever written on that. You will find that things like that are commonplace everywhere. These are just incidents that you're hearing about.
Well, how do they get rid of the files? My question. Where do they go on what computer do they use to fucking delete that shit? You know what I mean?
You can always tear up. You can always tear up paperwork. You can always erase the video camera.
Exactly.
I mean, so the whole team was gone.
They have data entry personnel that added into the computer later on, but it starts out as hard copy.
Right. Yep. But the data refers to the hard copy. So if they never knew, so if you get rid of the data, the hard copy is the backup. Right?
Well, the hard copies never make it into the server.
But what happens if it got deleted off the server? Then you have nothing to refer back to the hard copy. It just gets lost in the paperwork.
They make it vanish very easily. They have a very sophisticated system and very good personnel who can make things vanish very easily. You would be surprised how many people who are murdered.
The best. What are you talking about? We're way better than that.
Exactly.
So what the fuck? Why can't we just see that shit? Like, why can't we figure out how to take the people out that we don't feel are guilty? Why can't somebody come to us with docs and say, look, I'm innocent. Fucking help me out. Here's the case. And we should be the judges. These judges are corrupt, man. I'm telling you, I'm going through it.
They're all masquerading as bankers, man.
It's all business.
Yeah.
The legal system is business.
I know it is now.
It's sad that now they charge you like $40-50 to even go get booked in.
Yeah.
You get jailed and you get a fucking charge now. You have to pay to get booked now.
Even if you didn't, yeah. Oh my god. You know what? And so I'm suing Home Depot after all this going.
It's the same thing with emergency services. You get stranded somewhere and they have to send a helicopter for you or an ambulance. You get the charge for that.
But yeah, you do.
Oh yeah. That's right. $500 here in California.
Yeah.
No. They're trying to charge me $60 for the evidence against me. Yeah. They have to give it to me. They have to. They're trying to charge me $60 for the discs. For the media, for the video, for all the whatever fucking media they have. They have to give it to me.
It's all about profit.
Huh?
It's all about profit.
Well, they're trying to charge me $60 for 6 discs.
There's no such thing as guilt or innocence anymore. If they want to find a way to make some money off of you, sir, they will.
That's 1,000% markup. That's usury.
Exactly.
They arrest me after 6 months on a closed fucking case, man.
They do. They really do.
Every 6 months. And the case has been closed for years, but they still, every 6 months, come knocking on my door. Guess they need pocket money. I don't fucking know.
So I think we should have it.
Where it is everywhere else, but here in Maricopa, the state allocates $1,000 a day per prisoner. Now, in the Maricopa County Jail, you get green bologna sandwiches and a little thing of milk. So there's a lot.
We all know how much jail sucks. We all know how much it sucks, but let's start something. Let's start like an op justice with the justice sec op fucking fuck the system. And then basically we hire a group of a wolf pack. We make a wolf pack that goes and figures out how to fucking delete that shit off the server, you know? And then all right, and we have I'm serious, delete that. And you're innocent. We've deemed you anonymous and deemed you innocent. Fucking boom. We're good. Yeah, they're doing it. Why can't we? I don't understand.
No, you're exactly right, man. You really are.
Thank you. Thank you. We control the servers. We control the internet, not them.
Shit, you can't even download something now without getting fucking copyright violation, man. Fuck that. What? You know, you can't even use a fucking torrent anymore without fucking getting your ass ripped by your.
My friend downloaded some movies. They were there in his house in like 30 minutes or an hour. I mean, he said they dusted his door down, took all his computers. He was only torrenting for. He was on there for like an hour. Oh, they hit him.
I can do in an hour, man. Oh. Fuck.
It's time for resistance, man.
It really is. It really is.
We have to fight back.
Really?
We have to use our choppers.
Well, we're already using the social media against them when it was designed to fuck us in the first place. So, I mean, we're fucking, you know, that's one leg up.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Fuck yeah. We're doing it right now, for a matter of fact.
Yep.
Servers are easy enough to get into. It's getting in undetected that's what counts. Most servers on them, and it's picked up right away. Anything from the outside.
You know, I used to have one of those clear spots, and
that's why you delete everything.
Sweet. It was sweet because I could go to any fucking major city in the country, and it would work. You know, as I was in my little motor home, and I'd fucking drive around and fucking jump on here and drive for a while and jump on over here. But fuck, man, they did away with that. You know, Sprint bought fucking clear spot out. I mean, it was
that's when you go to a pawn shop and what I buy that I commonly refer to as a pop and drop laptop. Something you can use and just throw away later on.
I call them Nomads.
Free Wi-Fi everywhere.
They're called Nomads. Yeah, Nomad. Nomad. Hey, all right. So, you saying, hold on. Wait, I had a good. Oh yeah. So, okay, the employees use cell phones. The cell phones have a wireless. The printers all now are wireless. All the printers now are wireless. So there's a wireless connection in the printer, and it's always hooked up to the network because that's how they print for all this shit. It all goes to one printer and prints. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and the employees are not supposed to bring their cell phones in and play with them, but they do. You see? And because of that, fucking, we could get into the cell phone. We could go jump from the cell phone into the printer, and from the printer into the internal network.
Just get the IP address for the server.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was just saying that would be an internal. That would be internal, though. It wouldn't be an external intrusion. It would be an internal. Did you see? To the printer. The printer communicates with the network.
It's on a Wi-Fi port. Exactly.
Right. That's all we need. Is just a port, like you said, and that IP address of the printer is what we'll be using to do this, and they'll think it's coming from the printer.
That's not a bad idea.
Thank you.
There's always lots of open ports on servers.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many open ports. I know Denver PD last year. I don't want to incriminate myself, but let's just say there was a lot of open ports. More than you would think on a secure network.
Really? They didn't have a firewall?
No.
Are you serious?
Unless it was active.
No fucking firewall on that shit?
No.
That's illegal.
Yep. Small police department, Littleton.
Fuck, that's crazy, man. Anyone can get in there.
Yep.
The fuck? I mean, shit. I mean, they're free now. Than firewall. I mean, they should have a hardware-based firewall.
I don't think Littleton, Colorado got the message on that one, or it was too late when they did.
Yeah.
I mean, who are these guys building their networks? They're not very smart. The IT guys are.
They're leaving those doors intentionally. You know, you got to think. So some of the people that build networks they're just like us.
Aha.
And they want to leave fucking doors. I mean, why not?
Right.
Later on.
Right. And we should be doing that. Everyone that's listening that's an IT guy, fucking do that. We should have our own, as a matter of fact, for Christ's sakes. What's the number? What number? We should be the anonymous port, right? Why not? Everyone else has them. Microsoft, everybody has a fucking port. Why can't we have one?
That's true.
I think we should have one.
I think we can all agree that something needs to happen because things are only going to get worse with this militarized, these militarized actions. I won't call it a civilian action, arresting someone who committed a crime. It is a military action against a citizen of whatever country.
Well,
in our style, we get them cyber. We're the cyber division.
Don't use that word citizen because you're really not a citizen unless you are a government employee.
That's
okay?
true.
Then you're just
That
a
is
people.
true.
And you don't want to be a citizen because you have more rights as a people than you do as a citizen, man. You know?
That's why I always say I'm a citizen of the world. We see them tend to look at it that way, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. So.
But Europe are the laws totally different in the United States. You know, they are not so. It's the cops here in Europe are nice, and it's different here at Europe and the United States. You know, when I lived in 2 years in Oklahoma, you saw it. When I was arrested 2 times,
I remember that,
treated
Kevin.
me like shit, and it's a difference between Europe and United States. It's crazy. It's you see this America. Sorry, I'm saying this, but it's a police state.
Right.
Oh,
absolutely.
You're 100% right, brother. You really are, man.
It's totally different how they treat you. The cops, they pull a gun for the stupid reasons, and here they are so nice. That's crazy. I don't know what I must think about it, but yeah, I love America. It's sad that they deport me out of the country, but I love America. I love the people. I love the country there, but the laws there are so strict. Yeah, you are so strict, but I think the reason is also because a lot of people have weapons, you know, are armed, you know.
Well, that is a good reason for them, but if you boil it down to a single equation, at the highest levels, it's greed-driven. It's about profit.
Yeah.
I really think everybody should have a gun. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. I think you should have a gun. The other people that have guns, they're not gonna fucking shoot you. They're not.
In Europe, they're taking our guns away after the World War II, you know, and we want our guns back. We're still trying for get our guns back, but yeah.
So, do your police there actually carry firearms at all, or no?
Yes, of course, but they can only shoot if you shoot them. If you throw, they are not so violent. We have the right for protest. We have the right to go on the streets and do protests and all kinds of stuff. But they cannot shoot you. Totally not. And it's a difference. But I see here in Europe we cannot have guns. Okay, they take it away after World War II. But everyone want to try to get the guns back in Europe, but the cops are fighting and the law of fighting against to us, you know.
Are you allowed to have like shotguns to go hunting with, or no?
What?
Are you still allowed to have like shotguns and stuff to go hunting with, or no?
Yeah.
You can have shotguns, just no like assault rifles or anything, huh?
Yeah. We have a lot of guns, but the problem is all the guns are for other countries. It's not for us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a problem. We want our guns back, you know, because everybody wants a gun because we want to protect ourselves to other people, but there's a problem here in Europe now. We cannot protect ourselves, but we have a good thing. The cops are not so violent like in the United States. I lived there 2 years in Oklahoma, and I see this too. There was a lot of what I saw was say from damn fuck. I love the country and love the people. Yeah, I was married there. I'm now in divorce. They deported me out of the country because I was illegal. You know, it was ridiculous. But the cops, he shoot 2 times to me. You know, it was ridiculous because I was running away.
Brother? Did they charge you for the flood?
Are you in
flight home?
You're in Belgium, bro?
Yeah.
So I talk a lot with a youngster that's in Belgium, man. He's about 14, 15 years old, and his dad's being held over there, incarcerated. But he's a really cool cat, man, and he he's everything that I hear about your country's great, beautiful to visit. You know?
Yeah. It's not bad. We can protest. It's not against the law. We have the right for protest. They cannot shoot you. Also, how violent it is, it don't matter. You can protest how much you want. You can smoke pot. It's illegal. Only in your house in Belgium. In Holland, you can do it everywhere. But
right
it's not bad here. But I miss America because I love the country and I love the people. It's sad that they make this so. It's like a police country, police state.
I think most of us can agree we do love the country and we love the people. It's the government that we have the problem with.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! And unless we do something right now, it's only going to get worse. Nothing is ever going to change. We need to take this country back a piece at a time, whatever it takes. And us fighting amongst ourselves, and I think we all see it every day, little petty skirmishes here and there. Unless we all come together, this isn't going to happen.
Okay, we're talking about unity.
Someone knocking on our door, telling us it's time. It's time for us to go to wherever they want to take us, because we've allowed it to happen to ourselves.
We have, and that's the sad part. We should be ashamed of each other and of ourselves because we did this to ourselves here.
Exactly.
We sat there and trusted the system, or our parents did mainly, because I can't say us, but those generations before us allowed us to become this disaster that we are. And I'm not going to leave this to my kids and grandkids.
Absolutely not.
I got a 3-year-old grandson and a year-and-a-half-old granddaughter. I'm not going to leave this fucking disaster to them, man. What kind of human being am I?
They're the reason that I fight every day.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, everybody must stand up and do something, because
any of y'all see that video?
If you wait,
it's not that we want to; it's that we have to. Because if we don't, the future is pretty bleak for everyone.
It's just going to get worse. We're going to, it's going to turn into a literal 1984.
What if we sell? Oh, I just got a good idea. Check it out, everybody. What if we sell, like, how there's an Obama phone they have? Everybody ever heard about it?
I got one, bro.
Okay, so what if we had, what if we give out hardware and all it does is fucking, it just sends threads, it has is the Zor on it, right? That's all it has. That's like the only app that it uses. It's just, and so when you push the button, it fucking Zors whoever, it's like an army. We'll have an army of devices out there, So we build these devices, we give them away. And we give these devices away, and every time someone pushes the button, it sends threads to whatever fucking entity that has fucked up that we've decided to punish. You see? So, what do you think?
I like that. I do.
And it would be all it would do is connect it into it would be like a like a push button, or I don't know, it would be like we'd have to, I don't know how we connect it. That's all you guys. I just come up with the idea.
These Obama phones, they came out during Obama's term, but you know who actually signed them into law? Reagan did, man. You need to thank Reagan for those fucking Obama phones.
But bottom line, here in America, if we don't make a stand now, things are going to get devastatingly worse, and their powers that they're gonna try and force over us are just going to get worse and worse.
Well, anybody can download that low orbit ion cannon and the Zor, right, from their cell phones.
As soon as you use it, though, bro, they will be at your house to come and lock you up.
So they have to use a VPN.
People always ask me about a VPN. VPNs are great. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to surf, TV channels in other countries, but if you want to really maximize your anonymity, chain proxies.
Yeah, chain proxies.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see a VPN is it's just taking your stuff to another place where they're getting a copy of it, Because
and then one fucking subpoena. Yeah, one. Go
ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, one subpoena. Especially if it's domestic, they can do a subpoena because most VPNs monitor traffic, and all they need to know is the connecting IP, and they already got you.
Right. And even on the Tor, now that the Tor's cracked, I mean, you're really not getting anywhere hiding on the Tor. You know, I mean,
can be monitored.
I'm sure there's a whole other network out there that's deeper than Tor.
That leads us back to having our own port.
You know, when people ask me, how can I be secure if I want to do something? And I get asked this frequently. And I tell everybody the best thing that you can do is pick up a cheap laptop and if you're going to do something, go somewhere and use the free wireless. Do it from there. Make sure there's no cameras and walk away clean. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. However, what about for all those people who just have cell phones that want to help? They can't go out and afford or know how to just throw together a shitty laptop. What if they just have their cell phone?
There's lots of software you can use on a cell phone. You're not going to get, all the desired effects, but you can get somewhere with it.
Okay, well, explain what it is. Explain.
Nothing is safe. I thought I was being, on the slick until I got called into the FBI quarters, and they had every post, every Google search, everything, thousands of pages that I had to sit there and answer to. So,
I know that feeling. The only thing that I remember about and I call it an interview, my interview with the NSA was a hot egg salad sandwich and a warm bottle of water. And the 5 hours that I spent there was the most amusing moment of my life because they didn't have their shit together in the first place.
Nothing. I had to go through a metal detector and then had to wait for an hour for a background check. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And here I am at FBI headquarters. You guys should have had this shit done already.
The process is meant to mentally break you down.
Yeah, that's exactly what they have it for. Yeah, to keep you fucking guessing on what the fuck and yeah. So we're anybody on this call that has not had major issues with the law enforcement?
All right. So law enforcement.
Hey!
What do we enforce?
Well, I was born in trouble, and I will say this: there's not many people that were on the FBI watch list at age 18, and I can proudly say that I was.
Yeah, me too. But I'm in Europe. You can nothing do.
NSA was parked under my house, my apartment one time. I hear all of a sudden boom. There's like somebody in my spot under my park, So I hear room. I go, what the fuck? There's somebody parked, and I run outside of the patio, and it's the NSA in their black SUV with the yellow NSA National Security Agency on the side, and they pulled out and they fucking sped away. Like, what the fuck?
They pulled me over on the highway just to remind me that they're still watching me. Just want to let you know we're still watching you.
But they're not doing anything about it.
It's harassment.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, it's harassment.
Right.
Right. A lot of people will disagree with me when I say this, but there's no such thing as a good cop. It's just like there's no such thing as a good government.
You're 100% right. I mean, they've made their choice by getting the paycheck they get.
It's like the Nazi sympathizers in World War II Germany. They turned their own families in. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right.
Well, maybe they really believed in it. Maybe they really truly believed in the propaganda. We can't hold it against them. They were brainwashed. They were,
absolutely, just like law enforcement's brainwashed.
Right, exactly. It's indoctrination.
Exactly.
Right, and so we must indoctrinate.
Absolutely, and I think we do a decent job of it. But we need to do better.
You got to fight fire with fire.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so part of our indoctrination has to do with symbols. Okay, so I want to get back to symbols. I'm pushing for the 8-pointed star. and it stands for the 8 duties. So, and this is my idea. I just kind of throw it out there. I think you've heard it. So it's protect freedom, seek justice, police the police, protect children, protect the disadvantaged and the disabled, protect the planet, eliminate elitism, and of course, not least, no love.
I'm with that.
All right, so that's the 8-pointed star, and so it's 2 squares inverted, so it's really easy to make, kind of like the Star of David's 2 triangles. You just kind of put 2 squares. It's really kind of, it's kind of fun almost to make one. And then you can put the circle with the guy with the question mark in his head and inside the fucking star. You see what I'm saying? So the circle fits nicely inside. And then in the corners of each point, I wanted to put something for letters, but I didn't know what to put. Not letters or numbers or, I don't know, 1s and 0s. I don't know what to put. But there's 8 corners, There's, I don't know what I would put as far as maybe just question marks. I don't know. I was thinking
This Tuesday I was at a visit with a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And she presents us with her CPR certificate. Dude, I was so impressed, man.
That's incredible.
It's fucking that's ass kicking right there, bro. Be 10-year-old CPR certified.
Fucking A, she could save a life.
Yeah. I'm all about that.
Oh, you look like somebody just hit you in the head right now or something. So anyway, yeah, I'm recruiting out here. Trying. There's not really a big presence here. Nobody knows the fuck Anonymous. Nobody knows. So one of my campaigns is a graffiti campaign, and I would suggest anyone out there that's listening to get a can of spray paint, black, and go out and paint that little man. Learn how, or just Anonymous, or just the guy. And that street art, but make it lovely. Respect us by representing us well, right? And make it nice. Don't make it look like tagging. Take your time, pick a good spot, and black, spray, go out and get the word out. And that's, I think, when people look up Anonymous and they look up that guy, they want to know more. And now they find groups like these, and talks like these, and people like this that want to make a change. And I think the more that we just get that Anonymous out, and everyone should know about it. And so when I'm asking around and people don't know, I'm like, you don't know? You haven't heard?
Man, I named my Wi-Fi Anonymous Watchman. I got an Anon mask in the window facing the street here.
That's right. Me too.
Whenever I go somewhere, I'm usually wearing some type of shirt or something to let people know where I stand, politically or just, socially, or however you want to look at it.
I don't think I have a shirt that doesn't make some sort of statement in that manner, aside from maybe like 2 Pink Floyd shirts that I can still find from back in the day.
I love the Pink Floyd shirt.
Right, but I mean, I try to make sure, even when we drive around, we got an Anon mask on the back of our headrest in the car.
Yep, same here. I throw them on the dashboard.
I put it in the dash right there, standing up in the dash, right, with the little thing that holds it up. So it's in the dash, facing out the windshield. In the middle. Right. Yeah, that's what
I'm all about. If I see somebody else with saying anything that they're anonymous, I'm gonna stop and talk to them because I want to see. What's up?
Yeah, but I mean, you would think there'd be more of us. It doesn't, So anyway, that is my. I was just so I'm gonna do a graffiti campaign anyway. Graffiti campaign here in San Diego. Graffiti campaign. So anyone in San Diego, look for us. Look for the graffiti and graffiti. Keep doing it. It's really easy to draw the guy. Actually, it's just like a circle, and it's a wreath. Some chevrons. Whoop, 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 whoop. 7 chevrons, right? 6 and a point. So it's 7 on each. 6 chevrons and a point. All right. So yeah, I don't know if there's there's 6, right? Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 6, and there's like there's a half of one kind of sticking out from behind his back. There's like a half one on each side right there. So you kind of you'll get used to it, how to draw it. Like after you draw like 100 of them, you just be like, just whip it out, And for all the graffiti artists out there or anyone interested in spreading the word, I think that's been that was a campaign before, and I think that's something that we should always remind ourselves, because that's how a lot of movies get started. Like in the movie, ever seen how they're spray painting on the movie? And then the mask, I think are well, like buying a whole bunch, like somebody, getting them real cheap, making manufacture on this job. You know what I mean? I want everybody to wear a mask, and we mask day. Everyone wears a mask on that day. This would be anonymous day.
Man, we got like 20 masks over here to hand out to the next protest.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm talking about 100.
Dude, every time I go out, I end up with more masks. All my friends tend to leave them in my car. Now I've got like everybody's mask from around the country.
Speaking of spraying up propaganda or spraying, tagging up everything, constantly bombarded with propaganda. We should be pushing back with our own, artwork and tagging everywhere. The anti-propaganda stuff everywhere.
Right.
Most definitely.
And we need to represent correct. You got to represent correct. Don't throw up something that looks like shit because you're representing us poorly. And what I do is I usually do signs. Like I've been doing signs, and that doesn't even ruin public property. You know what I mean? Signs are a good idea because you can take it down and nobody, you can say that, hey, they're out there destroying property or something.
Well, the harder. I don't know. I look at it kind of differently. If it's up there, they're going to have a hard time taking it down. The longer it's up there, the more people are going to see it.
You're right.
This is going to sound really weird.
Well, as far as those who don't want to get in trouble, chalk is always an option.
There you go.
And then, you could always have a friend with that's a little braver come behind you and hit it with a clear coat of some sort. So out
in my area, we had a good idea of like getting these stencils, and some spray cans so that you can just spray and walk away.
Right, good idea. That's another good idea.
Yeah, see, that's what we use in protests. We have all kind of stencils, so we can just, and it's done, and we're moving on before they can snatch anybody up.
I like to do big stuff myself. I like to do huge. I think big. You know what I mean? But a lot of little ones are good too.
A few years back at one of the protests, a lot of the protesters brought full-length mirrors with them and faced them toward the riot police. And something like that to me makes a statement because you're showing them what they look like.
That is awesome. I like that. Yeah, I love it.
Use Mylar too, just so it doesn't break and nobody.
Absolutely. I was reading some of the comments, and not to get off topic, but Ryan Kennedy made a post. Children, basically, what he's saying is children don't stand a chance because they're indoctrinated through school, and he's absolutely correct. Anyone who goes through our education system gets brainwashed, were his words, and that is absolutely correct.
Well, yeah, they lied to us from the age we can start listening.
And you're forced to go to school. You have to go, or they'll arrest you.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
I tried to homeschool my daughter, and you have to have permission from the state.
Oh shit!
And do and all that shit, man. It's insane.
That is insane. That's enforced indoctrination. It's exactly what it is. Let's just call it what it is. Forced indoctrination.
Hey, but I'll tell you this. Emily's daughter here, she did her own research, man, looking up how songs that, mainstream songs, how you our backmath. She showed us. She said, like, check this out. I'm not listening to this no more. Listen to what it says when you play it backwards. I was like, dude.
Are you gonna go get this? Are you gonna play it for us?
Come again?
Are you gonna play it for us?
I can find something, but
why don't you play it for us?
All right, let me pull it up here.
Well, yeah. In the meantime, let's talk about how to take over the world.
Hey, I heard this wreath that the Anons use. Their symbol is the same one that the UN uses.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I see. Okay, that makes sense. Because we should be United Nations. But all nations are united under us.
Let me see.
Might be a copyright violation.
Oh, a copy left. A copy left.
This one here says Justin Bieber and something else. Let's see.
I think we had Richard Stallman on the show.
We did Justin Stallman. I don't know about Richard Stallman.
Richard Stallman, the Free Software Foundation. He invented GNU.
Yeah.
Created GNU, who and then Linus finished the code for him. Did like about 10% of the code, and it got to the name of Linux. Remember? Richard Stallman.
Yeah.
Fucking legend. We should have him on the show.
Oh, who can get him?
He has a writer. We have to have a parrot on the show.
Acknowledge my Lord. And this is
Okay, we pulling it up here?
Yeah, well, I dropped the link in the chat, but I'm trying to play one of them.
Here, I'll pull up the chat real quick and I'll play it through.
Right on.
Are we gonna take questions? Is anyone on the chat?
Yeah.
All right. So hold on
Are we
one
gonna take any
second.
questions today?
I'm going to turn the sound up on that and then pull the sound down on...
I mean, that might not be a real good...
Yeah.
You know you love. Ever be apart? Are we an item? Look, we're playing. We're just friends. What are you saying?
That was definitely interesting.
Trip, bro. There's some better videos, man.
I'm sure there's all kind of, pop songs and stuff you could play backwards and find all kind of crazy messages in.
What if they didn't do it on purpose? What if that's just Satan fucking...
I've heard if you buy a Kanye record.
All right, so we got our guy back here, back on the call.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What
Hey,
up,
what's
dog?
going on, brother?
What up, dog?
Just getting back to the house, sitting down, getting settled. What you guys talking about right now?
Topic of conversation today has to do with there was a protest in Anaheim. and all these people are saying, "Don't shoot our kids! Don't shoot our kids! Don't shoot!" And they're just like pissed off because this a white officer, off-duty LAPD officer who lived in Anaheim. Some girl walked on his grass, and then some kid he called her something or said some derogatory term, and the kid said stuck up for her and said, "Hey, don't say that to her, don't talk to her like that." And then he grabbed the kid by the stretcher, wouldn't let him go, grabbed his backpack, had his backpack in one hand and his kid in the other, and he's dragging the kid down the street. I don't know where, nobody knows where he's dragging him to. And so the girl grabs the kid's backpack, and the girl's pulling on the backpack, and the kid's pulling away from him, and they're trying to and the guy's like holding on to the backpack, and there's these like two young kids, 13 years old, they're all walking, there's all these other kids walking home from school, and they're all watching, right? And so it's like a big crowd of teenagers. And so anyway, it escalates, and the kids want to help him, so he kind of pulls him back through a bush and everything, and he's like kind of using him as a shield, like a human shield, and then he pulls out his gun. The cop, he just looks like a regular Joe with a bald head, right?
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he pulls out a gun, and all the kids are like, "Oh my god!" And boom, the gun goes off. The kids run like, "Ah!" All the kids run. There's a cell phone video, a pretty decent one. Yeah, I mean, the kids were scared for their lives. They were terrified. They thought the guy was gonna go on a rampage and shoot them. That's what I would think. Who knows what they were thinking? They were scared.
This is a plainclothesed,
the plainclothes guy. He tells him, "Hey man, you can't do this. My dad's a police officer." He goes, "I'm a police officer too. I could." I'm gonna wait till the cops get here. I'm gonna hold you. You can't hold me. Let me go. And he's he's struggling, and and he wrestles him on the ground and everything. And the gun goes off. Boom! The gun goes. I thought the kid was dead or something. I thought he might have shot the kid. The gun was right there.
No, nobody was hurt in the shooting, but the fact that an off-duty police officer had done this.
Discharged his weapon for no reason.
We're not supposed to teach our kids to defend themselves against random strangers that walk up and try to assault them.
Right, and he's kidnapping the guy. He's dragging the kid somewhere. The kid's like, "Hey, where are you taking our friend?" He's not just holding the kid and standing there. He's like pulling him and taking him into his house or into his backyard.
His jurisdiction.
Huh?
It's not even his jurisdiction.
Well, he's not even on duty. I mean, he's just a guy. He's a regular guy when he's not on duty. That shield. The shield is what's supposed to, that badge or whatever. That's when you put that on, you become above the law, basically.
So is he being brought up, why is he not being brought up on charges?
Right now he is on leave. Under investigation.
They arrested the kid. Can you believe it? They arrested the kid.
They arrested more than just a kid. They arrested a few people.
Right.
What the fuck did they arrest the kid for?
Right? They're questioning the cop, but they're arresting the children.
He didn't have a badge, so they had to arrest him.
I think you bruised the cop's ego is the problem.
Oh man, that's enhanced charges.
I think he was on roid rage.
He touched my fucking grass and then he
it's roid rage. The guy looked all roided out. I'm pretty sure.
Most of them are, man. Most of them really
are. They love those roids. They want to be huge, They want to fucking fuck some people up. There's two kinds of cops. This is what I say anyway. There's ones that work for money, and there's ones that work for power. It's the power that they don't care what the fuck they do. They pay you to be a cop. But there are some cops that just kind of do it for the money, and they just do the bare minimum. But they're not that that's. It's a job. But most of them, I would say, they're just there for the thrills, not the love.
I think you find a lot of them at Krispy Kreme.
Right.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though, it felt good to see that young kid just straight punch that guy in the face, no fear. I'm coming to help my homie, and I got you.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that was cool. I liked how all the kids came to his aid. They were like, hey, stop. And then that's when he pulled out his gun, because all the kids were proud of him and were going to help him. You see, because all the kids
oh shit, I'm about to get my ass beat by 12.
Yeah, I'm about to get my ass beat. I'm going to pull out my weapon. That shit was a punk ass.
Well, the thing is that, what it looks like in the video is that the kids were walking home from school. That's what it looks like.
Right, it was. That even the kid, you can hear the kid talking in the end. He goes, yeah, we were just walking home from school, and then you can hear the kid explain to another kid what would happen if you watch the whole video.
Hey, Tyler, did you watch that B of A song, Tyler?
Yeah. So there's so apparently the watchman had showed me a video, and this is the funniest shit. Okay, so on Joe Rogan, they were apparently like two banks had merged, and they had this like they had done the U2 song, and we had redone it for this merger of these banks. Oh my god, that was the most hilarious shit. The comments that was going on.
It was a what?
Funny. Hold on, I'll get you the link. You shit. Do you want the Joe Rogan or do you just want the actual song?
But the actuals,
Joe Rogan.
I don't know, both.
The comments that Joe Rogan makes, they're funny as fuck. Here, I'll get that link.
The Joe Rogan experience.
That's not good for you.
Well, no, it's terrible for you. What it is it's a game. It's like The Office.
Oh shit, here's some breaking news right here. Two DC police officers were shot in Northeast DC. Both are still alive and conscious.
Okay. I got the link in chat. What? They're still alive and conscious?
I reckon so.
Shitty shot. Sounds like somebody needs some target practice.
You know, as things progress, that's going to be more and more a commonplace for officers to be assaulted, shot, whatever, because people are fed up, and
that's
they don't.
Right. People are.
Most people don't have a connection to groups like we do, where we have a creative outlet to handle, the misdeeds of police officers. But they're fed up. They're sick of their children being harassed. They're sick of their wives and husbands being harassed for no reason. The world is tired of this Nazi mentality from our police departments, who we put in place to serve and protect us.
There's been a line drawn in the sand, man. Like the system, especially with the corporate control that is in head of the system, is making it very clear, like where they stand, and it's getting where everybody's saying enough's enough,
Yeah. Even the militia people I know here in Florida, they're just fed the fuck up, man. They really are. They're over regions. They're fed up too.
We've actually had a bunch of support from the 3%ers in the area, as well as I don't associate with the Florida Minutemen, but the Florida Minutemen.
Yeah.
But the 3%ers seem to be a pretty good group.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah, I love it.
That's right. New Hampshire.
Somebody sent it to me.
That's from New Hampshire.
From United States, from Indiana.
New Hampshire. That's New Hampshire's logo. Whatever.
I fly the green and the yellow, man.
Wow, I'm finally I'm seeing a picture of this plainclothes officer. There is no way to identify him as an officer.
No, there's no way. And the guy is he looks pretty. He
looks like a skinhead. I mean, if I was a little brown kid, I'd be terrified.
He looks like a janitor at a Hilton hotel.
Oh, the kid tells him to let go. For several minutes. The guy should have let him go. I mean, you know what I mean.
Hey, if you touch a child, cop or not, if you're off duty, if you touch a child, touch another person, that's assault. Period.
I think he identified as an officer at any point until he knew that the other officers were coming.
But if you touch a person, that's assault. And touching a child, that's child.
And that's kidnapping because he was dragging him somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a scary thing. Is he was dragging him for quite a ways, and I was just wondering is this cop dragging this kid, and what is he gonna do?
Yeah. What's the purpose behind that? And I mean, before you operate in any kind of official capacity using any powers given to you by said position, aren't you supposed to identify yourself immediately before you actually use those powers? Otherwise, you're just regular Joe Schmuck being an asshole.
I don't think you can use those powers without a badge.
Well, I think that there are several cases. There are tons of cases out here. Where off-duty police officers, cause a ruckus and then end up in a lot of trouble. I'm almost positive if this officer does not get in trouble for this incident, there will be a huge retaliation. Not more so than we saw yesterday.
I hope there.
I would certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Peace, love, and whatever with this like ecological fight that I've been involved in, but fuck that. That's defending yourself when if not doing anything about that, you're not defending yourself at that point. Like there needs to be a ruckus caused if nothing happens.
Any of y'all heard the update today from John Lamb on the court proceedings for all those from Burns?
I watched a little bit of it. You can inform the rest of us.
Well, they're going through and having a lot of witnesses and stuff, man, and they're trying to pull people in that use posts that were from way after the actual huge was over. They're trying to use Facebook posts from after that to place people places. It's fucking insane, man. I upload a lot of John Lamb's videos to my channel because, man, that guy stood out there for like 40 days, man, while they were having court and stuff and just giving people updates every day. He's a phenomenal guy, man. I mean, you have a friend like John Lamb anywhere, man. He goes above and beyond, man. He really does. He's a really cool cat, man. I don't know if any of y'all know who he is, really, but a few people do, I think. As a matter of fact, I'll shoot y'all his update from today right now in the link. What was that? Show it back. I can't see it now. What were you showing up there?
What is that?
I'm trying to see it. Can you put that on big screen? The note he's holding up?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, shit, invert your screen. I'll drop it.
Oh, wait, there you go.
John Lamb. And I do have permission to use all John Lamb's videos from himself.
Good morning, everyone. We're down here in Portland, Oregon.
I'll just drop it in the chat. You're more than welcome.
What is all that written on that paper?
That's what I was asking.
Can you figure it out?
I mean, it kind of looks like one of my passwords.
You just got hacked, bro. You just got hacked.
Does it look like something to do with Bitcoin?
It looks like your MD5 hash, right?
Bitcoin.
Oh, word.
Bitcoin. We're supposed to talk about Bitcoin tonight.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin today hit a record high.
And not only that, but it's still steady going up.
Does anybody know the correlation between that?
Well, the old record was like 2013, and that was a trade of, I think it was $1,163 was the highest one, and that one was a trade that was done significantly higher than what everything else was trading around at that time anyway. But now it broke that mark, and it just kept straight going right past it today, and now it's sitting at 1218.
I'm looking at it right now. It just jumped.
Fuck yeah, 1218.
A high now today of 1225.
Yeah.
So it'll have those little bitty bounce downs, but it's just going up at such a fast rate right now. It's amazing.
So just invest in Bitcoin.
I actually
so anyone that's bought in, I mean, hell, even a week ago, you're doing good. You've made money doing that.
Guys, I want to wish you a good night. It's late. I look forward to the weekend show, and thanks for letting me join in tonight.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Right on. We'll catch you later, man.
Oh, definitely. I'll be here Saturday. So
looking forward to it.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Kevin, always a pleasure.
Yo, Thank you, man.
But yeah, Bitcoin's having itself one hell of a year. It's going up at such a fast rate for the entire year. It hit really high right as the year turned around.
Let's talk about the Bitcoin machines. The machines that turn into cash. Yeah, there's like special Bitcoin ones that you can turn your Bitcoins into cash.
Yeah, those are popping up everywhere nowadays. I've seen, especially in towns where that's like one of your only options to buy Bitcoins, you're going to see a much higher rate on one of those machines.
To purchase?
Then just compared to what the regular market value is.
Huh.
Bitcoin's a little weird currency. Like, I was actually reading up on it. The blockchain is actually finite, so there's only so because there's still miners out there going around. I heard that in the next 20 years there will be no more Bitcoins to mine, and it was just whatever's out there is going to be out there.
Yeah, when it hits that point, the price is going to skyrocket.
Does this look like one of those?
Yeah, we were talking about the ATM. Units right now is $1,218, but if you were to buy Bitcoin I'm in New Orleans, for example, you're looking at a price of $1,330.
Holy shit!
Holy shit! Huge markup on these Bitcoin ATMs.
Damn.
But there's another service that's coming out right now. They're fairly new. It's called Liberty X, and what you do is you go into a store that supports it, and you buy this PIN number. It's kind of like, those machines where you buy the phone cards to get PIN numbers to get more phone time for your, like, shitty phones, like your Metro PCS and shit. So, like, you would get a PIN number like that, and then you just enter your wallet address and the PIN number, and it sends the correlating money that you spent. And by comparison, their rate is $1,226 right now, which is less than the $10 markup compared to the Bitcoin ATM, which is $120 higher.
Yeah, those Bitcoin guys are greedy, kind of. Right?
See, I don't really understand much about Bitcoins. I've only just recently, in the past month, really.
Well, essentially, when you're using Bitcoins, you are saying a big fuck you to the centralized banking system.
Okay.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah. One thing about that, every trade you make, if you come and cut my grass and I give you, $20, $30 in Bitcoins, that's definitely something the government can't tax. If, you sell me a high dollar item that the government will want to get involved in with taxes. You got Bitcoin casinos that are real big right now. And, we all know that any kind of casino winnings, what is it, like over $1,000 or something? Like you're gonna get taxed on. Like they want a portion of what you win.
Right.
So like every turn, you make a deposit into your Bitcoin wallet, that doesn't turn around like as opposed to if I made a deposit into my bank account. That deposit through fractional reserve banking automatically generates 10% of what I make and gives it to the elite for free out of thin air.
Right. What if we made a slot machine where you win every time?
Well, whoever was running that wouldn't get very far.
You gonna run that or play that game?
So how is it that the Bitcoins translate into exchangeable currency beyond zeros and ones on your computer?
There's been a lot of
Bitcoin is the exchangeable currency.
I don't use banks anymore.
But if you are you more so asking how do you turn dollars into Bitcoins and then back and forth?
Yes.
Okay, well, like there's tons of ways. There's, we just mentioned the Bitcoin ATM, and that's as easy as, you walk up and you stick in money and you put in your Bitcoin address and you have Bitcoins in seconds. Bitcoin exchanges that work pretty much like a stock exchange would work. I actually just used one of those for the first time tonight after probably like a week and a half of trying to get it set up, because you got to like verify your identity, you got to connect your bank account, and do all these micro transactions and verify everything, and it's a pain in the ass. But after you get to that step, it was literally just as simple as like I pulled my phone out, I opened the app, and this was just to test it out. I click buy, enter $35, and then hit confirm, and it pulls $35 out of my bank account instantly. It charged me a fee of $1.06. And then, dude, I had the Bitcoins in literally 2 seconds. From the time I opened the app, it was maybe like a minute and a half process.
Huh. Okay, now how do you turn it back into cash?
Well, with this app, I can sell it. Like right now, I can turn around because I bought these and the price was $11.80. Now the price is $12.18. I've only made like $5, but I could turn around and sell those right back now on the app, and it would put that money right back into my bank account.
How much to sell them back?
I don't know. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to play more with it later on and see where I get with it.
I still wish Circle was still around, because you could sell them back to Circle.
Circle's not around anymore?
No, they just, because of the whole shit with the SEC. I think I looked it up. They just discontinued using Bitcoins, and I think they're going to discontinue as a service. It's almost not even worth using them. I think you can move around money, and that's regular currency, and that's about it.
Well, there's a popular service called Local Bitcoins, and this works almost just like an exchange, except there's pretty much any payment option you can think of. You can have, like, say I'm selling a Bitcoin, I can, tell them that I want to pick up a Western money transfer, MoneyGram from Walmart. You can PayPal me the money, meet in person, and exchange it for cash. You can walk into a branch bank and make a deposit in my account. All the way down to, small services like Perfect Pay or stuff like that, like really other ones that are bigger and or more Eastern countries of. And that facilitates trades all over the world. That's what I tend to use most of the time. But I found that can be a complicated process. Like I had account get stuck with this login guard because I've recently reformatted my computer, and it was like it's supposed to send you an email that's like you click a link in the email and then you're in your account, except the system wouldn't send me an email, so I was locked out of my account for like 5 days. Ended up having to make a second account to make a purchase, and on the other end, I had issues with MoneyGram. So I'm sending money to Ukraine, right? And they automatically convert it to euros. But I specifically tell the lady at the counter this needs to go in US dollars. And then I didn't even think about it. I get home with the receipt, send him the picture, and he's like, yo, euros, no dice. And I'm like, fuck. So this was a 4-hour process of getting this money refunded and then sent back, which, with the trades in local Bitcoins, you have a time window also. So for example, if I made the payment and then the time window closed and I couldn't send proof of payment before that time window closed, this dude could literally go pick up the money and keep the Bitcoin.
Yep.
And he would be perfectly, because I violated the terms of the contract. So it was like a nightmare. Like I'm sitting there with my phone, like, okay, I've got enough time. I'm like watching the minutes click down on the timer and everything. And like at the same time, I'm watching the price of Bitcoin go up and up and up. So like at this point in time, they were $1,108. So this guy has them for sale on local Bitcoins for $1,132 because there's always going to be a markup there. But man, this market, it's very active. Like I did a couple days where I was selling Bitcoin on there, literally happening so fast that I can't pick up money between Walmart and Western Union fast enough to like handle the volume that's coming in.
So yeah, there's a deadline. I'm looking this up. There's a deadline looming for the SEC to approve Bitcoin ETF. You aware of that?
What do you mean ETF?
Exchange for the exchange traded fund.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in the end, it doesn't matter. Need FCC approval. Bitcoin doesn't need, you know, to interact with banks. Like you don't have to have a bank account. You don't have to buy Bitcoins on the exchanges anymore. Like, you know, we can go meet at the local coffee shop and you can hand me some cash and I can trade you Bitcoin. And there's not a damn thing any bank, elite, or FCC or government agency anywhere can do about it. You know, it might become more difficult without the banks, and it might, you know, the price might drop significantly. But, you know, keeping that in mind, long term, it's only going to go up.
So what we need to do is make an NFC software app that automatically, when you know how it has Apple Pay and Samsung Pay and all that. So we need to make it as an app that uses NFC that will do a Bitcoin swipe. You know what I mean?
I think you can. Isn't it built into iOS that you can actually send Bitcoin transactions? Am I right about that?
Well, no, like, you know, when you go to the store, you can swipe it, the NFC, the near field communication. You know what I'm talking about? And you can swipe and pay.
What are those, like those new chips that they're putting in credit cards and stuff?
Those tracker chips, or just different chips?
Well, like I don't know. I've been seeing these credit card machines all over the place where, like, instead of swiping the metallic band on your card, if you have one of these new cards that have a special chip in, you slide it in on the bottom, like halfway, and it just reads
Here
the
in
chip
Europe,
inside the
Belgium,
card.
we have chips. We have chips on our all ID and our IDs, cards, and all kinds of stuff. We have chips. And Holland, Belgium, and France, we have chips.
Well, is this what you're talking about with the Bitcoin? Is like having the chip, or just a way to pay with a card in general?
Yeah, exactly. Pay with the card at the store.
Well,
that'd be cool.
I can talk about another Bitcoin app that I've been looking into. Chance to use this. This is going to be the next one I check out when I fully figure it out. But this one's called CoinJar.
There's chips on those cards. So look to my ID cards. I did my chip out. Look.
Oh, nice.
Don't fuck me.
Is it the what? I don't see it.
Oh, hold on. I'll put his camera up there. Show him again.
Here, I did my chip out. You don't slap me.
Those chips that are in these
That's what's up.
Those chips are trackers, and you slide them into the machines, it charges them. It charges the chip
Yeah,
up.
that's my ID card. But me isn't my ID card. This is my ID card, and there's a chip in, and they...
So let's change subjects for just a minute. What do they do with the chips in your ID card? Like, do they have scanners or something for them for the police?
Healthcare things, everything. When you was born, everything.
What?
Your life
is that's RFID technology, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But leave the big hole. Look.
Out of that hole.
I can see his face straight through the card.
Oh no! I got you.
I don't trust this shit.
Hey, I hear that.
I didn't trust it because, I mean, it comes in handy. It steals your card. They can tell you how far away your card is or where it actually is located.
You know, don't they have the RFID chips now, and they're built into passports now, right?
No, and in Holland they are now doing chips in your skin.
What?
Yeah, and you can pay with this. You can buy stuff with it. There's a credit card and everything. ID, credit cards, it's all in one. And it's a chip. They do this in Holland now, in the Netherlands, and they scan with your arm around the thing, and you can pay with this.
Oh.
I'm not kidding you. Yeah,
isn't that David Rockefeller's creepy dream with the global elite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, that's true. But Holland is.
Hack it though. Can you hack it?
Holland is a good country, you know. Everything is legal, but there they try it for, yeah.
Remember that? God, who was it? Who was it who had interviewed him? And they were saying something about like if you had violated the laws and this is how you were supposed to make transaction with these implanted chips, is that if you broke the law, they would turn off your chip so that you couldn't purchase anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
in the Bible.
It's crazy stuff, man. But they don't fuck me. And then I'm out.
So what happens when they see you and they see that there's a hole in there? They're gonna arrest you?
Yeah, it's altering a document.
A week ago, I had a stand down. You know, we had a little protest with Anonymous, and the cops were there. They were secret agents. Because every time if Anonymous come on the street, secret agents go on the street, and they ask to my passport, my ID, and I give this to them. Oh, you have no chip. I said, no, I don't trust these guys here, you know. And they were laughing. And, we were handing out, we were giving flyers to the people, and this one cop say, can I have a flyer from Anonymous? I say, yeah, of course, here. But,
Nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few local cops come and take pictures with me. Like I did a 9/11 protest one year. Well, not protest. I wouldn't say it was just me with a sign.
There are a bunch of cops that ask for a joy, you know, because a week ago too. Also, there's two secret agents came to us and they, can you give me a flyer? You cannot give flyers to those people. You cannot do this. And this one cop asked me, can you give me a flyer, but make that they don't see this on a camera, you know? Yeah, it was awesome. There are good people. But and I give my passports with this hole, and they say, yeah, it's a good idea, you say.
So can you be a cop and be anonymous at the same time?
Yeah.
It's possible.
I used to talk with somebody that said that their brother-in-law was a cop and also was an anon, but I never did meet him or talk to him, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's the kind of people we need to know here. That's the kind of people we need to listen to the show. These people that are elite, that are secret elite, you know, or that are secret and really anonymous, you know, but they're members of the elite, but that maybe it's not their choice, or maybe, you know, or whatever, like, or they just woken up. They woke up, you know, they were sheep and then they woke up and then all of a sudden they woke up as an elite. So what do? I mean, they got to be real. They can't tell anybody that they're anonymous, or that they believe in.
I did see an article about some, and I didn't read it, so I'd have to look more into it, but the article was claiming that some elite was speaking out, like some younger female, probably like around the age of 20 to 30, you know, speaking out that she didn't want to be a part of that shit, and maybe that's worth actually looking into to see if there was anything to that, like that. Just you just reminded me of that right now, talking about that kind of shit.
And that's the kind of people we need on our side in order to really do some damage, you know, because they're on the inside.
Well, I imagine there are, you know, maybe just a very, very few that are disgruntled, don't like it, you know, think it's fucked up, and, you know, maybe they're just biding their time. I'd like to think that, at least, hopefully.
Well, I hear Russell Brand is a supporter, and Tech 9.
Yeah.
I want to get them on the show. That would be.
Yeah, I don't trust Russell Brand. I'll say that one.
Yeah.
He's married to an elitist bitch. He's like integrated with their family. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel genuine with him. Plus, he only did that for a little while, and he's kind of gone from that now. Like, he got his fame faggotry out of it and went on about his way, it seems.
We should call him on that.
Yeah, right.
Good idea.
I tell you who I'd like to get on the show is Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
What about this Tech 9 fellow?
Tech 9, yeah, I've listened to him. One of the first, I guess, awake hip-hop artists I heard, man, like way before anything. Like before Anonymous even existed, I believe he was doing shit. It was probably like 2005, 2006, I started listening to this guy.
Is he violent?
I mean, he's got some songs that speak out on a little bit of, more. It depends on what you define as violence.
Well, I mean, is it somebody we can...
Is it like gangbanger shit? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, is it like overt?
I don't know all of his songs.
Didn't he do that rap song that I was doing on the loop on the test page? With the SQL injection with Anonymous on it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh my god, nobody watched the test page.
Well, I wasn't here. I wasn't here with the software.
Hey, Tech 9 he's very well spoken. I'm a big fan of Tech 9's. In fact, he has a lot of, he expresses a lot of different viewpoints with his music, and he's very articulate. Even then, he's known as one of the fastest rappers on the planet. He's put together several songs actually that included like the fastest, most articulate rappers around the world, and has spoken out openly about several different issues, whether through his music or even just actually speaking. So I feel like he would actually be a pretty good person to have on the show. He's someone that, I personally would love a chance to pick his brain and see what he thinks about some of these things.
Okay, this is what we do. We get a hold of his, what do you call them, managers or whatever? What is this, like entertainment manager or something? We got to get a hold of that guy, and then and we tell him, hey man, if you let him know that we want to, you know what I mean? Anons want to hear from him, and then see what he says, you know what I mean? Send him the message. We can get a message to him. We can do that at least, right?
Well, we can probably hit up his Twitter account, see what he says.
Our people need to contact his people.
Right. So who's going to do that? Who volunteers? Not everybody volunteer at once now.
All right, you volunteer. There you go.
All right, I'll do it. Fuck it.
Okay.
I'm a first-time guest. I don't feel like...
Oh, hey, my mic was muted. Sorry. Yeah, I'll actually volunteer for that because I don't have connections in that end of the music industry, but I do have some connections in the music industry through the festival scene. Excellent. So maybe I can pull some strings that way and track this guy down.
I know Jonathan Davis from Korn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, let me comment. You guys remember back a couple years ago when that World Wide Wave operation came about? And it was supposed to be like a replacement for Occupy. And they did this video. And in the video, it was like Anonymous, Eminem, Korn, and Ice Cube. So but it was Ice Cube's song "Everything's Corrupt," Korn's song "Spikes in My Veins," and then Eminem's song "Rap God" as all meshed together. So about a week after this shit. This is the funny part. So about a week after this shit, you've got all kind of outlets putting out articles saying Korn, Anonymous, or Korn, Eminem, and Ice Cube have teamed up with Anonymous. And it was like, no, Korn, Ice Cube, and Eminem have no idea this video was even fucking made.
It looks like a homemade video.
It is a homemade video. I could probably find out who made it at this point.
I met my wife because Korn Jonathan Davis, because he was a best friend for my ex.
You just went out, dude.
Don't you love it when that happens?
He just completely dropped from the call.
Yeah. He's frozen.
I feel his pain. That happened to me earlier.
Kevin?
So he was saying about Jonathan Davis. Yeah, I know they're from Korn's from Oildale, California.
Well, Korn,
Bakersfield, right?
Oildale.
Korn is kind of political. They have their political songs as well.
Yeah.
Ice Cube has a few political songs, but that's mostly like gangster rap. But
yeah, I think Tech Nine.
Oh, you can't knock NWA, man.
Huh?
No, you can't.
That was very political.
Oh, it would still be nice to talk to Mr. Davis and see his viewpoints on things. I think a lot of people would listen.
Oh, definitely. That'd probably be the biggest show we had.
What do you guys think about reaching out to like Serge Tankian from System of a Down? I heard they were even getting back together.
Good idea.
Oh, for real? See, they're very political. They've got all kind of songs about shit.
Well, if we get Tech Nine on board,
the prison song.
Yeah, I love System of a Down. System of a Down.
I'll be straight up with you guys.
Serge Tankian solo thing. I'm a fan of all of it.
Like all this music that's politically motivated and like more revolutionary, like that's about all I care to listen to these days, aside from like lyricless electronic music.
So what about like reaching out to Flowbots?
Oh man, I just love to see them live, dude. They got some fucking energy.
why isn't there a band called Anonymous? Why isn't there an anonymous band?
Well,
yeah, no.
Huh?
We had Steve Grant on the other night. He puts out some serious fucking songs.
Shit.
Like
I really like Steve. Yeah.
And in addition, there's Elias Clay, Diesel Automatic, and they're both serious anons. And then on the hacker end, we've got Whitey Cracker. Like that dude's got all kind of like really techie songs and like stuff about hacking operations.
Is he the one that has a YouTube video? The YouTube channel is called Nerd Life. He does all those.
Yeah, that's one of his songs, Nerd Life.
Yeah. He did the anti-sex.
The Lol Sex song, the anti-sex song.
I'm gonna have to check him out. I've never checked him out.
Oh, it's anti-sex. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll send you some links later.
Have you guys have you listened to Low-Key, the British rapper?
Oh yeah, I love Low-Key. That whole crew too, Global Faction, all of that shit. He's got a whole crew that runs with him, like Logic, Caxton Press, Amy True. Damn, so many of them. Like I could go on all day.
I feel like Immortal Tech's the type of individual that would like get on a show like this. He's always been down to earth and doing grassroots organ. Like he's been involved in organizing for a long time. So that would be someone interesting to reach out to.
Hey, that's funny. I was playing that Anonymous teams up with Eminem video in the background, and it went to a Steve Grant video next.
Watch, we'll get one of those copyright shits.
I don't give a fuck.
All right, thank y'all.
Okay.
Copyrights because your name's up.
Thank you.
No, dude, I told him when I was testing out how good, I think that Facebook is using something back end, like some sort of audio sampling that similar to Shazam, and I was using some really obscure band, and I was only streaming audio, and I got flagged for a copyright.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, these guys are Iceland. I didn't know that, these guys are like really that big,
See, I'll do a lot of YouTube videos, and like I'll put in all kind of music and stuff, but somehow I dodge getting hit with those copyright issues.
Yeah, because
I actually got hit with one, and I disputed it and got another video deleted off of YouTube and like won that dispute. I have no idea how. Like somebody wasn't paying attention.
if I want to listen to music from the United States, sometimes I cannot through it. It's blocked. And otherwise too. When I was in Oklahoma too, I want to listen to music from my my country of Europe. It's blocked. It's I don't know why. But
Have you tried using a VPN to get around that outside of your country?
yeah,
Same shit.
it's blocked sometimes. It blocks the music sometimes from the United States that I like, and otherwise too.
So speaking of blocks, like, what do you guys think of the whole Samsung ad that's warning people to like not talk around their smart TVs?
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's
Wait, so they put out an ad saying,
"Don't talk around your smart TVs. They're always listening." Samsung did.
Yeah.
Samsung. Yeah.
What? The fact that they put an ad out saying that is kind of mind blowing. Like that's supposed to be hush hush. Like I like when I explain it to people, I like to set my phone down and like, you know, if you have the screen turned on your phone and you say, "Okay, Google," it'll pop up, you know, with Google and start searching what you say immediately after that. So I'll put it down and I'll explain to people, and then like they'll just sit there and I'll like say, "Okay, Google," and the phone will ding and it'll start typing everything I say. And then I'm like, you see, it's always listening. Like, so we know at least it's always listening for you to say, "Okay, Google."
I blocked this ad because I don't trust this. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I only activated this app to do this chat. I don't trust Google or I don't know. I don't do anything.
They're getting integrated into the whole house. You know, the sprinklers, the lights, the oven, the refrigerator, your bed. You know, so you're like your whole.
Oh, you're talking about the smart
right? So
home thing, right?
You're like, "Okay, Google, make me a chicken or something." You know what I mean?
Man, Earthships, not smart houses.
Well,
no, there's these systems where you can you completely can integrate all of your devices, everything that's electronically into your phone, and it can be monitored somewhere back end. It's some scary shit, dude.
Well, I mean, I could set up that type of system independent of someone that's going to be like monitoring it on another back end. Like you could get a couple Raspberry Pis and some wires, and like the next thing you know, you can be controlling your locks, your lights, your, you know, whatever.
Those Raspberry Pis are so awesome.
Yeah, they are. But you know what? The real.
Oh, speaking of, let me give a promo here. So every March 16th for Pi Day, there's always huge Raspberry Pi sales over the internet, and you know that's coming up here in a couple weeks. I mean, you can pick up a Raspberry Pi for like $25 depending on where you're shopping at, and you know you can get an older model for like, you know, $15-20. So
the scary thing is that since this one device is controlling all of your whole, that means that somebody else can control your whole house. That's leading to.
It doesn't have to be connected.
It doesn't have to be connected to the internet, but it's a wireless device, correct?
No, I was saying you can wire it all up, hardwired.
Oh, you can wire it to the stove and the refrigerator and the lights and the locks and all hardwired.
I mean, however far you'd want to take it, yeah. I mean, you could have it online, offline. You can do whatever. You could have it Wi-Fi controlled if you wanted to. You could have it, you know, everything run through a server that the Raspberry Pi connects to and controls everything through the switch. You know, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
But if you're using any kind of Wi-Fi, then at that point you're leaving yourself open to, you know, someone coming over and picking up on the signal and hacking into it.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, so that's dangerous. And hardwiring is a pain in the ass. Like nobody wants to do that.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what I do for a living, so it's nothing to me. I'll hop up in the attic and drop a new Ethernet wire in the wall, like just be like, yeah, this room needs one.
Like normal people don't want to do that though.
I mean, hell, I've got a server rack in my closet with like probably like 12, 15 wires going up to different parts of the house at this point. But I'm not a fan of the Wi-Fi. I like hardwired internet. It seems to work better, first off. And secondly, I'm not a fan of the waves. They're not good for you.
That's been proven.
They cause all kind of problems, including genetic mutation, like on the DNA level.
I've always just never tested.
Oh, there's been
Cell phone,
a
too.
lot of there's been a lot of theories on EMF and sense of feelings of paranoia and stuff like that. So there's been some studies on it.
I've never really trusted the whole information and access to everything just being here in space, but in waves, because it's just all accessible there.
Let's talk about blasting messages. I want to be able to blast a message on somebody's phone using their Bluetooth. Like, okay, you know how when you connect to a Bluetooth device, there's that screen that pops up that asks you for a PIN, right? And it pops up over every other screen. You notice no matter what screen you're using, that is always on top. That Bluetooth one, you know what I mean? When you're connected to a Bluetooth, right? That screen pops up, and it pops up over all your other screens, no matter what you're using, no matter what apps you're using. When the Bluetooth is trying to connect to something and there's a PIN request, boom, that thing pops up, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so what if you were able to send a message using Bluetooth to another Bluetooth, to anyone within your range, like you're blasting their Bluetooth. See what I'm saying? Like you're forcing their Bluetooth to say, and have that screen come up, and then on that screen there is
instead of a pen, it says, wake the fuck up and overthrow your government.
Exactly.
I like that idea, man. I like that idea, and you know what? That doesn't sound that hard at all.
Thank you. I would love to see it. It's a dream of mine.
I don't know anything. I'm not a programmer, but I imagine people have to commonly write. There's probably standard API for Bluetooth authentication, and you would just have to slightly modify something like that, and build an app that pretends like it's trying to connect to Bluetooth.
Pretty much, yeah.
Could you possibly send some kind of signal that would make all of the smartphones in the area turn on their Bluetooth too, so that even if their Bluetooth is off,
thank you. That's the next step.
Switch on.
Well, I'm sure the enemy has that technology.
I'm sure I think you're probably right on that one.
I want to blast the Bluetooth open. Blast it open. And then blast the message through.
I'd like to learn how to do that.
That's my dream.
I know cops will try to clone your phone through what they call bluejacking. That's more old technology, and I think they've patched a lot of those vulnerabilities out. But all right, so for example, I never have my Bluetooth on. The only time I ever have it on is if I'm using it, and then it goes off immediately. For if anything else, it drains your battery.
But there's a limitation even on the efficiency of the Bluetooth protocols. I think it's 3 megabit is it maxes out, right?
You can get a big message.
I have no idea.
You can get a decent message across 3 megabit. Man, that's a lot. You could say you could send a whole friggin' novel.
Hold on, let me.
More than a screen worth of information, that's for sure. You can even send a picture, maybe.
So my public PGP key, which is I don't know, probably about 2 paragraphs worth of characters.
Yeah.
Is under 2 megabytes.
There it is. There, see.
So for 3 megabytes, you could say a lot.
Yeah.
you could really. That's like a whole Anon video script.
Right. Right. And then people have to listen. We have to make the people listen.
You could blast a video on everyone's Bluetooth that they have to watch on their. Man, that is a good dream.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you could get an audio clip. You could definitely get a good audio clip under 3 megabytes. I don't know about a video clip.
Nimbus.
Yeah, it says right here on this one page, it says the rate of data transfer between Bluetooth devices, it tops out around 3 megabits per second.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit. So yeah, but that first packet though, that you send could only be so long, you know what I mean? And even if we just said anonymous, even if it just said that, I mean, that would be sick. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do that. Or like, we are watching you or something, you know what I mean? Send it out. And then I also would like to target one specific Bluetooth device. Like if there was like a Bluetooth targeting, you know what I mean? Like the cone, make it a cone, instead of like a, how do you say, like a radius, it would be like a straight line, like a line of sight. What do you call that? Like a
directional.
Yeah, directional. Thank you. Yeah, it would be a directional signal as opposed to a wide, wide band signal, like a wide.
Yeah, that's more science than I know, man.
Right.
Well, with all this, couldn't we like make if this is how the Stingray thing works? Couldn't we make like an anti-Stingray signal as well that you could blast out that if like you're out there is like a way of combating the interference like through the Bluetooth?
Well, we have all kind of signal jammers readily available to us. I've looked into them before. I mean, they're like, a really good one under $200 online.
All those little devices.
I imagine, finding one that would block the frequency. You just got to figure out what frequency the Stingrays are operating on, and then, apply the same method.
Being on the cellular range is somewhere between the 700 and 800 megahertz range, and then you start going to the gigahertz range.
Well, then those signal jammers, but you got to keep in mind you're gonna be like, if you take out the cell range, you're blocking yourself too.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
right. Huh. Yeah, well, if you had a directional one, though, you know what I mean? If you had a directional jammer, you can just jam anything within a certain cone. You know what I mean? Like
shoot him with the ray gun.
Yeah, like a ray gun, yeah.
I'm not pointing a ray gun at the police line.
Did you guys see that video that I got? The guy made a gun out of a microwave.
Yo, you can
that crazy Russian kid that plays. He's
that just makes lasers in his garage. Is that who you're talking about?
No, the crazy Russian electrician guy. He makes all these fucking weird devices. Like he was like playing around with the actual part that creates the microwaves, and you made like a blasting device out of it.
What?
Kind of like a localized EMP.
Okay. Oh, let's talk about EMP.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk about EMP. I was thinking, is it back to the police? Like kind of like going back to the subject of the police. When the police are chasing your car and you have a directional EMP in the back, like headed, like shot out the trunk, you know what I mean? You hit a button and it shoots like a directional EMP at the cop car, and the cop car would have to turn off. The whole cop car would be like, woo! You know what I mean?
Well, there's limitations on EMP, and I've looked into the devices. Some of the effective range of these things are not very long, and even on the big boys, they're about the size of a fucking van just to get some real power on those things.
Huh. Okay, you did look into it like I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to drive around a van in order to have enough equipment to
you need to stick box truck with microwave.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the big box. Don't pay attention.
Yeah.
You got to strip all the metal off the sides and replace it with fiberglass too.
No, just put ABC News on the side of it, and you're good to fucking go, dude.
Right, they're allowed.
So we're not going to be able to make a sonic screwdriver.
Hey, they were using RF guns on those drones at Standing Rock. That
they were. See, they were.
Yeah.
Aha.
They were definitely using that to bring them down.
They're thinking of the things.
I saw this article about a rifle that used some kind of like radio wave or something to shoot down drones. Yeah, like.
We need a hardware guy.
No, there's a company coming out right now. They're still playing around with it. Then they're going to be. I heard they were going to be issuing them to law enforcement to take down drones.
Wow. Holy shit.
I heard that too, actually.
I saw the video. I saw the videos of the prototype of them actually using them.
It's insane. We need one. for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get one. We need a hardware guy.
I can work on
Do you
it.
know they are training birds like eagles and falcons and other kinds of birds for catching drones here in Europe?
Okay, say again? We're catching birds?
Yeah, no. They are here in Europe. They are training birds like eagles,
catching drones.
falcons for catching drones.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's a good idea, actually.
Did you see that guy that's being charged for shooting down a drone on his property?
No.
There's a guy that's being charged by the feds with like a felony for like destruction of government property for shooting down a drone that was over his property.
Damn.
Fuck, I don't. I'll have to send the link.
That's a good shot right there.
They have a shotgun shell now that shoots out a net. That's for
cool.
anti-drones.
That's sick. That's sick. We need some cool hardware on our side. You know, we need a hardware guy. I don't know. Like, I guess I was talking about the citywide EMP. I guess that would maybe kill people.
Well, he thinks big.
Well, no. Remember,
Yeah, well,
remember, I talked to you about that. The stuff that you're talking about.
Right, needs uranium. Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, you need a nuclear device, and good luck getting your hands on any.
Well, we talked about New Mexico.
uranium.
We talked about New Mexico. Maybe we'll go mine some of my own. Mine some
You
of my
get a
own.
knock on your door.
It's all hypothetical, of course. It's all hypothetical.
The watt. I think it's like in the. What was the power? It was in joules or whatever. I don't know. I'm not an electrician, but the amount of power that an EMP, like a legit nuclear EMP, pulls out is like a lot.
So a planet-wide EMP is almost impossible. We can wipe out all the servers. They're underground, though. It wouldn't matter. No. I think the only way to really fuck up the system is to fucking take out all the servers at once, because there's going to be a backup. If you destroy one server, there's always a backup on another server.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
You have to take them all out.
Go after the utilities.
All right, the power. The power is where the energy, and we'll go back. So full circle back to energy. But the energy company is like, the power. So it's taking their power, but you don't know where they have there's a secret server down underneath the earth somewhere. Like Area 50, there's like, instead of Area 51, it's like level -57. It's like way down in the earth. You know, deep down, there's a secret server that has all of our shit on there that we'll never get to.
That's in Utah.
It is. Aha.
Oh yeah,
the NSA facility.
It's called the NSA data facility. Yeah, is in Utah. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. So we'd have to actually get in there.
It's a suicide mission.
It is.
Any volunteers?
Right. Well, Guy Fawkes would volunteer. That was a suicide mission he went on. Because check it out, he was in the tombs underneath the Parliament, right? And so he had all those people like place their barrels in certain strategic places so it would take out down the Parliament. That he knew he needed 12 other barrels. He knew one barrel would do it, and he had the exact amount of powder and everything, and and he knew he couldn't do it alone because he couldn't run in the tombs and run out and run in back in 13 times before they see him. So he's like, so that's why he had his 12 compatriots, and everybody carried a barrel, and they all carried it again. And he drew, and he made the fuse, and said, "Well, one guy had to light the fuse." Remember, right? So I mean, it was pretty much a suicide mission because how are you gonna light the fuse and run out of the tombs in time? You know what I mean? Before it all doesn't come down on you. I don't know. I think so. So he's headed for suicide, but then he got caught, right? And he got caught right before he lit the fuse, and they tortured him for 2 days, and he wouldn't give up his mates. And that's why we honor Guy Fawkes. And right? Little story for the listeners. I don't know. Little history.
No, we got a lot of comments on the EMP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were some of these comments?
Yeah.
Military grade EMP. It's an EMP. I'm an ex-military tech.
Sweet.
No, not me. Not me. The comment.
No, I know.
Kidding me?
I wish.
But yeah, getting back to the can cops be anonymous?
As
this is haunted me.
There was some pictures coming out of that stuff in Romania, and I did see cops wearing the anon masks.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
That is
awesome. I guess
go.
it is possible. I mean, nothing's really finite. But but seriously, like if I was a cop and I was anon at the same time, I'd be kind of questioning what I was doing as an employment.
Part of it seems kind of contradictory to me.
Yeah,
because at some point, like when I feel like when you become so like empowered with a feeling about this movement and this mission, that like being that much of an enforcer of the oppressor or that much of the strong arm, like that would do shit to me psychologically. So I mean,
or he could be our inside guy.
That's right.
Agent provocateur.
Fucking A, man. Shit, we need those inside guys. Those are the keys to destroy the system. It makes it easy anyway. We need to get people that inside us. If you keep saying like we can't hack this, we can't hack that, it can't be done, that. But those guys can help us, because they have an inside. We need. I don't know.
I totally agree. It's just it's still kind of like. I don't know. I'm sure there's a couple of them out there that do what they can, but then at some point, I don't know. I feel like a big part of doing something would be putting their badges down and doing something else with their career or life and using the knowledge that they gained on the inside, like as something. But I feel the inside man under like apartment, but then like how far are they playing both sides of the coin would just be my question constantly. So how many other people would think like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about like military. Military could be anons, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
But eventually they're going to call in the military when the police isn't enough.
I feel like with the military towards like the public anyway, there's a disconnection that allows like there to be some kind of stand before that, because with the police, it's direct. They're directly dealing with us every day, so there's like a tension and a problem that's built there, especially within like lower income communities. But the military, they're all fighting wars overseas. They're off regardless of whatever. Or they're off doing this. They're off doing that. But it's still all this separate world. So when like I see it being more like realistic in that with that.
Okay. So what about judges, officials, House of Representatives, Senate, senator, politicians, like people like that? Like, what about politicians and people?
They're all cowards.
Huh?
They're mostly cowards. They're not going to stick their neck out.
No,
they're puppets for the elite, brother.
Right. Politicians, they could be anon, right? They have, but not really, because if they ever told anyone, if anyone ever found out, they would be ousted from the elite. But don't you think that since this is just an idea, it's an idea of freedom and justice and the right thing, and balancing the powers and eliminating this elitism, even though they're part of the elite, maybe they come to their senses, and maybe there's one listening right now and saying, yeah, that's right.
I hope for that every day. That would be cool. That's how we would win this, is if all of them just like, if everybody on the other side realized, you know what, maybe we are doing this wrong, and then like
started working with us, like, you know, there wouldn't be any of this shit.
Right, but they need to feel safe that nobody knows that they're helping us, you see. So we need to teach them how to be anonymous. So this is coming back to my idea about this website where it's like step-by-step how to become like not anonymous, but how to, you know, choose to be remain anonymous, how to do it, like how to connect anonymously, how to have an anonymous email, how to send messages, you know, not how to find anons to talk to, like, you know, without, you know what I mean? And so that they feel safe, you know, like maybe not a VPN, maybe a proxy chain or whatever, you know, and like step by step, you know, like radio buttons or however you want to do it or whatever. But like maybe, so that was my idea about this website. I don't have time to do it right now, but I wish I did. But you know, just a step by step guide on that, and then that makes it easier for politicians or somebody in a seat of power in order to message us and say, or whistleblowers, let's say, so to speak, you know. That want to come and join the cause, and they don't want anyone to know that they're joining, because if anyone found out in their circle, then, you know, they would be ousted from the elite.
You need an anonymous tip line, and then offer them like $5,000 for juicy tips.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're money. You know, people are money. Yeah, they're motivated by money.
Right. Well,
offer them Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, okay, and that brings me to another idea about rewards. Call them anonymous rewards, right? And then like, so maybe like puzzles, like there's like certain puzzles and stuff like that, like certain things you can do, like I don't know, just have like $100, or and then there's let's see. Like, okay, oh yeah, it was a, so they're like, okay, so how do we put this? Okay, so like rewards, like we'll reward you for doing, you know, I don't know, like people, let's use rewards. Let's talk about rewards.
Free Bitcoins.
Right, very nice. Well, I'll think of it. I had an idea. I'm sorry. My mind is elsewhere.
Well, first Anonymous would have to hack and get some free Bitcoins, and then they could afford to give them out as on their tip line.
So what would be a good tip? Let's put it that way. Like an IP address or something. Like, oh, hey, there's an open port over here, and there's IP address of this government network, you know, or. I'll get back into the being able to delete someone's case or whatever. Like, let's say we look into their case, we see all the discovery, all the evidence and everything, and we deem them innocent, right? So how can we, because like the governors are doing it. Like the governors are able to just like, if it's his family, it doesn't matter who it is, like you just press a button, I guess, and it deletes their case, like off the files.
No, that's not exactly true. They what they do is they file paperwork, and then it goes back to the court. And I believe it's the clerk's office that can do that.
So the clerk's office is the one that has the files in there.
They have access to everything, brother.
Right, and so the server on the clerk's office has whether, like, let's say, because there's a next court date.
You talking about hacking the clerk's office?
Yeah.
Well, all these government systems are triple backed up. I mean, that's going to be a chore, man.
Aren't they closed networks too?
Hey guys, I've really appreciated you guys having me on the show tonight. I'm gonna have to go and start taking care of a few things. Yeah, message me anytime. Like if I would. You guys are cool. Appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for giving me a chance to speak about what's going on with the Sable Trail pipeline. Anyone that's listening, just remember to check out the Facebook, Stop Sable Trail Pipeline and the Sable Trail Resistance. We have a lot of things going on, and we need people. Like, that's one of the biggest things is people in awareness.
All right, man.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
All right.
Well, now going back to RFID chips, if you look at what DARPA is working on for, like, if you want to call it the future of the RFID chip, is to actually have it, wirelessly, connected, but at the same time integrate with your own nervous system to, more, become like a cyborg, take over. Or,
you mean so your own?
augment.
You mean so your own electrical, whatever stuff is integrated with the chip in there?
Right, right. It'd be a two-way system. It's not just embedded with data or anything. It would actually be able to connect with you and your nervous system. That's the next level of RFID.
Oh, that's crazy!
Implants. The cochlear implant is called. Have you heard of it?
No.
Those, yeah, they do some brain. They can already, I don't say brain map, but put sensory information in and take outputs out. So you can see the future where it's going. That RFID now that's kind of just a wireless device embedded inside of you is going to also be the thing that controls you.
That's crazy. So, like, let's say that you broke the law and this thing was connected into your nervous system, and then they had some way to, like, paralyze you so you could be detained. That's fucking...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They are busy in Holland with this. In Holland and Europe, they are busy in Holland with this. When you do something wrong, they can see that you do something wrong. This is a chip inside your arm that they do now. I'm not kidding you. It's
going to be in our brain soon through the cochlear.
Yeah.
COCHLEAR, cochlear implant. And it links into your skull and like makes deaf people hear. But yeah, it's linked right into your brain.
Yeah, they're passing it off as initially it'd be like a medical to help say soldiers, PTSD, and things along those lines.
I heard that they're even using them.
It's wide open.
I heard that they're actually using RFID chips in dentistry office in certain ones, so that they could get your, they would put a device up to your teeth and they would know exactly what is going on.
Yeah, man. Some countries in Europe, they are busy with these things, like you're saying about those chips into your brain or whatever. Everything what you do wrong or whatever, they can track everything. It's crazy, but
yeah, it's coming.
Technology is going far now, and they use this kind of stuff. Yeah.
If they can make you hear through this implant, can't they make you hear stuff that, or like if everyone had this implant, they could be telling you stuff when you're sleeping. They could be whispering, whispering to you.
Yeah,
wireless.
What was crazy. What was that called? The Manchurian Candidate.
Obama was the Manchurian Candidate.
where they would have these assassins and they would like have like this the trigger word and they would go ape shit crazy.
Right.
Oh well,
yeah.
They
can already do that. They can already do that. The CIA does it with when they break your personality down and force you into altars. They can do that sort of thing already.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we need to be able to do the same thing. You know what I mean? We need to implant one of these things in one of these officials.
And you're working on about 10 federal felonies here.
It's all hypothetical. We can brainwash him to wear a mask on the with little judge robes on, on the up there. Like make a judge wear a mask. That'd be cool. I think all judges should wear a mask. You know what I mean? Because they're supposed to be blind in the first place. They should be wearing a fucking blindfold. Don't you think? Because she was looking right at me and she didn't like the other day. I can tell because I have the mustache. Looks like Guy Fawkes. I got the same exact mustache. So she didn't like that. She tore me up. Judge tore me a new asshole. But But I had to word the question about 10 different ways before she made him answer it. But I wouldn't give up. I was very persistent, and I would not just not. I figured a way out to how to ask him what and make him answer. But I had to say all this different because he kept rejecting. She kept sustaining it. Finally, she's like, "Oh, let it go." Yeah, it was. But I got the cop to admit that what he was saying that were this guy's statements were actually inferences he made from his notes that he made from his statements. And so, I mean, fuck, man. I mean, but they were taking it in court as evidence of the crime because of the statements that he made. Why didn't he have to show up and tell me himself? I mean, he didn't verify he didn't write like an affidavit that says, yes, these are my true words or blah, blah, blah. Like he didn't get he didn't record it. He didn't videotape it or record it or anything. So how do we know what he said? I mean, we know, I said, when you took the notes, did you write down every word or every other word or every 3 words? What are your notes? Is it just like it's just a basic sketch of what he said? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I'm dealing with the justice system right now, and it's they're making me pay $60 for my media evidence. But they have to give me the evidence. They have to give me it. But they want to charge me $60. I don't understand. They have to give it to me. How are they going to charge me and then for something they have to give me? Can anyone answer that?
No, I don't know, brother.
I've never heard of them charging to get your discovery. I mean, that's their job. They should provide that for free.
Yeah, and you're supposed to, but it's the videos and everything. It's on discs. And they want to charge me $60 for 6 discs. That's 1,000% markup. Ridiculous. I don't understand it. So anyway, I'm fighting the system right now. Doing my best. Gonna need some help. I'm representing myself. Huh?
You could forget due process. That's gone. I mean.
Oh no, they gave me the paper discovery 1 day before the preliminary. 1 day. They made sure that I didn't get it to 1 day before. They knew I was on my own. They knew I was representing myself, and they made sure that I didn't get it until the last day, right before preliminary trial. My paper discovery, and I didn't get any media. And they wouldn't give me a continuance. I did a verbal motion for a continuance. I told them why. I said, I want to get a real lawyer, and also, you guys didn't get my discoveries until yesterday, and I ran around all day looking for getting it, but it wasn't available till yesterday, and she would not give me a continuance. I mean. So I didn't have time to subpoena any witnesses on my side, or I didn't have time for any to gather any evidence on because I didn't know what they had on me. I didn't do anything. So anyway, that's what I'm going through. So let's get my little plug in there. I'm uploading all the paper discovery. I'm scanning it in as almost done. So I'll upload that online, and I'll let you guys take a look at it. So if you want. Home Depot, actually. Home Depot. Home Depot got me. They got me pegged. That's what they think. I do shit. And the Home Depot guys are, boy, their security ain't no joke. I mean, they're like hyped up. They don't wear security badges or vests or anything that say security on them. They just look like construction workers.
There was I don't know. I was gonna say something weird, but I don't know. There was this guy that was going around. I don't know. They really hyped up their security. There was this hacker that was going around and using a laptop outside of their system and somehow got in and managed to snatch a bunch of money. So I don't know.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, okay. And I look like one, so I probably. Oh.
I just fight it, dude. I'm pretty sure you're gonna win.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I can't wait to get these documents scanned in. That way, you guys can read all about it, and I guess somehow get the videos. I don't know. I have to get them court order, I guess, to get them. I don't make any sense, but I'll get the video. You guys can watch the video, and yeah, right now I was not prepared. I thought for sure they were going to give me a continuance because they didn't give my discovery to 1 day. I mean, how does that? It's just anyway. But yeah, that whole legal jargon, like you have to you have to ask the questions like a certain specific way, or you can't. They don't have to answer you.
Well, I know that I've been in court more times than I can count. And the word verbiage that they use is so obscure that it doesn't really apply to everyday common language. So, like I was saying in the other show, is that when I have to ask the DA or the judge exactly what they're telling me, again, is because I don't understand what they're literally saying. I have no clue what any of this legal jargon means. So can you please explain it to me in a way I can understand?
So yeah, there's like the cops, and then there's like the justice system.
Well, it's the legal system. The legal system has its own jargon. It's designed to be complicated on purpose.
Right, exactly. And they don't like pro pers. They don't like guys that are representing themselves. They make it hard. Everybody's been telling me, yeah, man, they make it really hard on us. Because I was in there and I was in jail with them. They put us all in the same tank, And anyway, so we go to law library. They give you 2 hours of law library 4 days a week. So you only get 8 hours in there a week to research your thing and print out all your motions, do all your motions, do all your stuff. So those guys having a really hard time in there. And you're not online or anything. They have all the old. It's all old. All the whole legal library. It's all old stuff. It's nothing. There's no they don't update their system for like 3 years. They haven't updated their legal stuff. Can you believe that?
Huh.
Yeah. So those guys got it tough in there, and I feel for them. Which gets me back to let's send letters to the pipeline guys. Do we have any names?
Ought to be on the Morton County arrest list.
Aha, Morton County arrest list.
But honestly, there's so many drifters and homeless that were there. I mean, I don't. You may not even. There may not be an address for them.
Well, no, like an address to email to or send a letter to these people to the jail. These guys that went to jail for being out there,
Yeah, I don't think that many are actually being held in jail. Maybe 10 to 15 at the most.
Okay, that's perfect. Then we can send them all letters.
Yeah, the rest they all have.
Well, that makes it easy then.
Court dates. But.
Yeah, well, that makes it easy. We only have to send 15 letters.
And then there's one lady, I think her name's Red Fawn, that she got arrested pretty early, like maybe September, October. But she's being held in jail. Without bond, even up with the money and everything. Then they changed their mind and said they didn't want to release her. So,
we definitely need to send her.
Do you know what the charges were about?
They said she had. That's one reason she was being held like that. And I don't know if she grabbed or got pushed into the cop's weapon, but anyway, he took a pretty heavy charge on that one, and it's probably a cooked up charge. Most people don't seem to think that she had a weapon, but at any rate, that's what she's got going. And then there's a journalist up there that was thrown in jail. It was on another action, associated with Standing Rock, but on location, and they've held her the whole time. They're, if you like Antilli and some of these other journalists, they're throwing them in. Looking at like 50 to 90 years, just for filming things that happened.
Wow.
That was where they closed the valves on the pipeline up there. I think it was on the Canadian-U.S. border. The woman, I think her name's Delia or Dahlia. I don't know her last name, but yeah, she's being held in jail, and yeah, they're throwing the book at her, man, just for filming. She didn't do anything other than film.
Okay, so what's her name?
And report.
What was her name again?
Her first name's Delia. I think it's Delia.
And we don't have a last name.
I don't know her last name.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you hunt around, there's several journalists now that are being held in that way, like Pete Santilli.
Pete Santilli. Delia.
Yeah, he's another one. Yeah, he's Malheur, Oregon. But
damn, that's crazy.
Kind of wish we had our guy down in Standing Rock on here. I was kind of worried about him after today, seeing all the footage that was going on.
Yeah, I saw it too. I was looking to live today. I'm watching, maybe from Europe, but we are watching too. It's ridiculous what they do, and we are not agree with this thing that they do. And
It'd be cool if we sent like somebody that got arrested for some kind of anonymous actions or such as like this pipeline thing. If we sent like a flood of mail, like 100 letters or 1,000 letters, and then all those cops would have to read every single letter. They'd have to open every letter and read them before they give it to them. So they'd have to like sit there and open every single one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, you know what pisses people off is you do like a dildo campaign. Just have dildo, send a dildo to the Morton County Sheriff's Office. Put the arrest on.
That's a good one.
Put the address on there, and
the dirty
attention. Sheriff Kirchmeier, and
that's a good idea. So, do we have an address for the Morton County Sheriff or Morton County? Do we have an address?
Hold on, let me look that up. Let me see Morton County Sheriff's Office address. Hold on.
Okay.
You can mail it to 205 First Avenue.
It is Mandan, North Dakota.
Mandan, yeah.
58554.
Mail them a dildo.
That's First Avenue Northwest. First Avenue Northwest, 205 First Avenue Northwest, Mandan. That's MANDAN, North Dakota, 58554. Send your dildos
now. We need the governor's office.
Big ones, little ones.
The FBI, the ATF, North Dakota State Troopers, the North Dakota National Guard.
The size does not matter on this.
No, I think it's the point that counts.
The bigger the better, though.
A 4-inch or 8-inch is probably not going to make too much of a
With big veiny ones.
Why haven't I thought about this before?
I'm telling you, man. It's brainstorming. We're just sitting here.
Hey, there was 100. I think it was up to 113 agencies that participated in the enemy forces. So there's plenty of targets.
Man. I don't know if we can afford.
Yeah, essentially all the counties in North Dakota. There's like 7 states around them.
All right.
So yeah, Wisconsin State Troopers. I mean,
well, that's a good place to start, though.
There's plenty of targets.
Right. Let's get them first. Well, tell all the others to expect us. Expect dildos.
Here's my 12-inch dildo, fucker.
Yeah. Well, we're laughing because it's true. Right? I mean, we really.
Yeah.
It's posted now.
Oh, excellent. Sweet deal. Fucking dildos over there for those. Right away. You can drop ship it. Yeah. Wholesale dildo. We can send big boxes, crates, pallets full.
Watch our viewers.
Oh, now there's other things too. They have these boxes of like gummy dicks. They can
eat the dick. They can eat some dick.
That's right. That's right. And then there was pornographic mac and cheese. There's a couple of companies that put this stuff out. This joke materials.
Right. So any style penis you'd like to send these guys, please. Edibles, whatever.
Send them a box of brownies, and you're like, oh my god. What did you do?
Right. But now, would they take them as evidence and have to store them in the evidence locker? All these dildos? They have a whole evidence locker full of dildos? Hey, man, have you seen that evidence? No, man, I can't get around all the boxes of dildos in the evidence locker.
Oh, no, I was talking about the other kind of edibles, dude.
Oh, no, yeah.
If it's edible donuts, you might get it through.
Now, okay, here, I just had a thought. Now, when they take your cell phone, they don't always turn them off. You know what I mean? And then, like, when, you know, and so, like, if you get booked into jail or whatever, you're like cell phones in there, like, right in their system, like, right there. You know what I mean? Like, in their building right there, like, with all their wireless printers and everything. And it's like
Wink,
right
wink.
there in the drawer. You know? So it's like your cell phone. I mean, it's yours. You know, it's on, and it's yours. I mean, I'm just saying.
So you're saying somebody needs to get themselves arrested so that their phone could be inside the building?
Well, it could be, yeah, like, you know, maybe they're just drunk in public, you know, and then you get out in 12 hours or something, they put a little purple band on you, and they make you sober up. You know, you just got to pretend to be really drunk. Woo, you know. You got to act like an asshole, you know, pretty much. And then...
and then your phone's there trying to crack their system.
Right, exactly. You have 12 hours to go, and your teammates are out there like...
That's like Mr. Robot shit, dude.
So how many packets can you get in 12 hours?
That's a good question. It depends on your connection, and it depends on your connection to your speeder computers. I mean, and how many, you know, yeah, it depends on your connection. If you got a 4G connection, I mean, that's pretty fast. That's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I have to do the math. I'd have to do the math on it, but I mean, you can just act. I mean, when they pull you out when they try to pull you out and say, "Hey, man, you're sober. You got to go home." You're like, "Fuck you! I'm not sober." Stay in a couple more hours if you have to, or something. You know, spit on them or something. They don't like that, or piss on them. They hate that. Put you in a safety cell. Are you telling me you're going to kill yourself? And they leave you in there for like 3 days. You could have your phone in there for. It depends. I mean, yeah, like you could just hang out for however long, pretty much. Yeah, you know what? I thought of it because I was in jail recently, and they just let me out for this bullshit or whatever. But I bailed out, like I said, $130,000 bail. But I was thinking, like, all right, so what if I told them I just didn't want to leave? Like, would they have to force me to leave? I mean, can you imagine them having to, like, throw me out on the street? Or would they be, like, resisting arrest? Like, they're not arresting me, they're trying to free me. Or they're trying to, like, would they have to drag me out? What if I resisted them? Would I be another charge? Or, like, I'm resisting detainment. Can I resist detainment? Like, or, no, like, I'm being detained. Can I resist liberty?
You're not following a legal order, so they'd have to beat you up for that first of all, and then they'd throw you out.
Right, but then having to throw you out, would they then grab you and drag you back in since you made them throw you out? Is that illegal?
Are you talking about breaking into jail?
No, I'm talking about...
He didn't want to leave.
Yeah, what if I didn't want to leave? You know what I mean? What if I tell him, fuck you, I ain't...
Yo, prisoner, you're like grabbing onto the cell walls. You're like, fuck, I'm not leaving, dude.
Well, I mean, they made me sign this paper before I left. They made me sign some shit. What if I didn't want to sign it? Would I still be there? I don't know. I'm crazy.
Well, there's got to be a charge there somewhere. That's all I know. I don't know what it would be.
resisting discharge from jail.
Resisting liberty.
Yeah, you're not following a lawful order, so something's wrong right there.
Right. It's illegal for you to be in this jail. I don't want to go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All my friends are here.
It doesn't matter how dumb it is. You know, you just follow it.
Right. Or pay for it.
Well, that too. Yeah, we're good fascists here.
Right. They call it capitalism. Call it capitalism around here, bud.
Well, it's really fascist, but let's see how far we've come. Now we know it is capitalism. So that's.
Like capitalism just got out of control. I mean, we tried.
Indoctrinated.
It's not working. It just doesn't work. There's too much injustice.
Well, crony capitalism doesn't work for sure. Yeah.
There's other.
I don't know. Did we ever have true capitalism? If we did, it wasn't for very long.
How far market manipulation has gone and how far back the elite goes, I don't think we really ever have. So.
So it's good, it's good here. We can sit here and laugh laugh at the elite, laugh at the cops. But in reality, it's because there's a saying. It's like we're no one's personal army, but we are still an army, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, we're not. It doesn't mean we're not an army. We're still an army. Don't get that fucked up. We're just not an army. But we are an army. That's what I think. I think that there are those that choose to remain anonymous, and that there are those whom anonymous choose.
So if you're a member of Anonymous, you can't really remain anonymous. You have to come forward at some point.
You do.
Some do. It's ironic.
At some point, you have to just say, fuck it. Give me your worst. I'm going to fight for what I think is right, and I believe these guys are right, and I have a freedom of speech, and I can say whatever I want in the hypothetical.
Arm, are you there?
Who?
Hello.
You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
No.
You can't hear me right now.
No, we had some other topics that we were supposed to talk about tonight. No, we had militant responses to police abuse of power, bank exits.
We talked about security, justice sec, and fuck the system, which is deleting files, trying to get rid of cases on people that we think are innocent. I think I'm pushing for that. Cases, people you can prove your innocence, then we'll delete you from the system. We'll delete the case. Right? Bam. Push a button, it's gone. Something like that. Right? That's what I want. I want to be able to. I want to be, like we should have. It would be like a secret thing or whatever. But like I'm just putting it out there. It would be. Somebody hears me out there, maybe can feel me on that. I think we should have that power. I think we are that powerful. I think we have people that within us that have that can do that. If we put together, if the idea, maybe the idea never come up, or maybe I don't know why, because those two guys, remember those two kids that said they were the leaders or something, and they got arrested for being the leaders.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, these two kids got arrested for being the leaders of Anonymous.
Wow, you kidding?
No. I can't believe I haven't heard that, man.
No,
huh? Forgot their names off the top of my head. I'll look into it. But yeah, these two kids, they arrested them, they threw them in jail. I can't believe I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
No. And
I would say the problem is with me. I'm back in Europe now. I can for 10 years not inside the United States, or I'm gonna be arrested. Yeah,
well, that's not too bad. That's not at least he can give you a lifetime ban or something.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
I'll tell you what, brother. If I could go to another country legally, I could do it. But I can't even leave this fucking state I live in.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of moving to England, somewhere where they speak English.
Yeah, but in Europe they speak everywhere English, but only French. I don't like the French. Sorry, but I don't. I don't. But yeah.
The Americans got out of control. The police here are, we see it every day almost. It's like, I got beat up twice by them. Once the guy, were punching me in the face and physically. The other time they were kicking me, and I woke up in the hospital. This thing with this guy pulling out his gun. I mean, it's the mentality of these police. The divide is growing. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think there should be a clear divide, and I think everyone has to choose a side. If you're not with us, then you're anonymous. I mean, either way, I don't know.
Well, I think I was talking about this, not even too long ago, is that we do have to get into the minds of the people that are oppressing us to help fight the system. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brings us to living in a just manner and representing Anonymous in the utmost.
Well, no, keep on posting those videos. Keep on, doing anti-propaganda. Do anything you can to, just spread the message. I mean, like, I fucking finally found, a shortened version, of the Federal Reserve. I mean, you just gotta, when you're posting stuff, just keep in mind that your average viewer is not gonna watch, like a 20-minute video. Even I've run into those kind of problems. Just try to make it short and simple.
Yeah, that's what we do in Europe too. We do every week. We do stand on, and every 3 months we do an awakening in every city, and we are preparing now for make a protest or do something big for the NATO, because the NATO is in Belgium. The headquarters from the NATO is Brussels. There's a headquarters where they are stationed.
You guys are handing out pamphlets too, right?
Yeah. We do a lot of things. We go every week. We go on street every week now.
I think a pamphlet with the website of a link that would bring you to that video that we just watched regarding with the guy pulling out his gun, the cop.
Yeah.
I think like a pamphlet with a link that goes to that video. You know what I mean? Like have on the pamphlet that link. Whatever that link is. Make it easy for him or whatever, and then be able to watch the video. That video is very powerful, I think. I think it says a lot about police mentality, and I mean, it was the fact that the kid got arrested, and the guy it looked like the other guy was at his house. I think they let him go, and he was they questioned him. He didn't say he was arrested, so.
I have a question too. Is it true that the NATO go into the United States? I heard this.
I don't know. There's a lot of debate about it. I mean, I've seen the pictures of that little, in I think it's the Kellogg warehouse, or it's somewhere in Maryland. They were supposedly manufacturing. Was it NATO or was it UN? God, I'm getting tired.
It's the same. It's the same. The NATO or UN is the same. It's the same.
Well, anyway, they had a setup thing going on, but here's the weird thing: is that the vehicles that they had spotted there were also spotted in Texas, and I really haven't been following up on that story much.
Yeah, I saw them in the United States too. When I was 2 years ago in Oklahoma, I saw them there too. They are white. They are with blue helms, blue things. I know the headquarters here is in Brussels. It's in Belgium. The NATO, and that's why we want to try for take this building over. We are trying for do something big in Belgium. We are preparing for do something big. We have freedom of speech. We can do what we want. We have the right for protest, and I hope we can do something big, because the NATO is fucked up. Really, I don't trust this guy. Sorry, I'm saying this, but.
Yeah, did you hear about I did. You remember that story that was coming out from that Norwegian soldier saying that they were doing he was NATO, so but he was from like Norway or something. And he was saying that they were planning on coming back they were doing training operations to take away guns from United States citizens, and they're already doing training exercises.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I read this, and I heard about other things that the UN or the NATO go to the United States and take all the guns wherever they can take them. That's the same what they did after the World War to in Europe. They did exactly the same, and they now want to try to do in the United States. And I believe in this. I'm not as
I don't think we're going to need guns to take them down. I don't think we can. I don't think there's enough guns in the world to take down them fucking missiles and without drones, without the manless drone. And they got the robots and they got the tanks and shit. I mean, they'll fuck us up in an outright war. But like, we can't hit them. We don't. That's not our style. Our style, cyber style. I mean, we got to hit them. Hit them in the network. Hit their networks.
That's what I like in the United States and the Southern. Everybody have guns. It's something. How I must say this? It's our lifestyle. Everybody go hunting. This. Everybody have guns, and I like this. We want our guns back too, but we can't. The problem is, the NATO is involved with this, and they try to take all the guns what they can. Yeah,
NATO is just like the U.S. European Command, essentially. I mean,
it's a European. It's a European. The NATO is European. It's stationed here in Belgium. Here, the headquarters is here in Belgium, and that's what we go and do a protest within a couple months. We're gonna do something big too. We want to try to throw over this fucking. We want to get rid of this NATO bullshit.
Don't bring a gun. Don't bring a gun to a cyber fight.
No.
Don't bring your Wi-Fi to a gunfight.
Eat his computer.
But, 4 years ago here in Belgium, it was a law that they put in, a new law, and they say from everybody that have a weapon, they must give this in, and everybody that give the weapon to the city, they give the city give the money to the people that give their gun in,
Did they give them fair value for it? What did they give them? Like $10? Here's 20 euros. Here, go have a good time.
Yeah. And they say we're gonna charge you if you give your gun back. If we catch you with a gun, you're gonna be charged. The NATO, I don't trust the NATO. The NATO is created by one of the biggest people, Rockefeller, and all the other people. You know them. I don't trust them.
Who do you trust?
Nobody. Nobody.
That's right.
Nobody.
You never know if someone's cool unless you meet them, shake their hand, and they don't put a handcuff on you.
Yeah.
You never know. But what I like to do is I send handmade items to my friends, and then I make them take a picture of it with the handmade item, That way I know it's them.
You can, it's not the screen printing, but like that 3D printing, you can print some plastic guns now that'll last like 5 or 10
Print some dildos in that motherfucker.
It's not a bad idea, man.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. And they even have an anonymous on there, anonymous dildo.
Got to give credit where credit's due.
That's right.
Anonymous dildo.
Just snorted.
Yeah, the question mark head guy right on the head. Little question mark on the head or something. There's a question mark for the head. Well, plastic printers are a powerful item. They're trying to ban them. I think they tried to ban them or something. They were like, they tried, but yeah, they can do that. We need access to that. They're getting cheaper. I think they're only like $300 now or something. So, but the plastic you got to buy for it's kind of expensive, but yeah, you can make your own AR-15s. You can make your own guns. All you need is the firing pin. you know, and the bullets, of course. But you make your own bullets. You have the bullet making machine. You know, a little thing there. You buy the grains and you make them yourself, and the way you don't have to buy them from anywhere or anything. And yeah, I think they make you show ID to buy bullets now. So you can make your own bullet firing pin, and you can buy all that shit online. You know, pretty much. They're doing that down in Florida. I hear there's a business down there. Anonymous, you know, Resistance. Florida's on, man. It's on and cracking down there. They're gearing up for war, and they ain't no joke. But like I said, I don't think that's. I think our style is more, you know, kind of in the back door. So, with big dildos in the back door, yeah. But yeah, I think we can have all the guns in the world. I don't think that's going to stop the system. I don't think it's going to do anything. It's fun to go shooting them though. You know, hunting with them and shooting. But I always like taking down elk with my friends, you know.
An elk with your bare hand.
Yeah, I prefer all natural. Old school hunting, you know. Just jump on the back of that motherfucker and strangle his ass. It goes down.
Yeah, if he don't kill you.
Well, that's, you know, you're earning your dinner there. You gotta earn it, you know. But that's it. But yeah, I think guns are all going to be outdated soon. I think ray guns, you know, like sound weapons. Have you heard of these? Weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're coming out with those. I know there's a tank that has one on there. They were trying to use it. It worked pretty well, I guess. From what I hear, it worked. They used it in Iraq and shit. It's some kind of sound wave. I'm not an expert on it, but I know it exists.
LRAD.
Yeah. What is it?
LRAD, long range acoustic device.
There it is. There.
And they got the millimeter wave weapons too. That's like the one that like burns your skin.
Holy shit! How big is it?
I think they got them on Hummers now. Humvees.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a thing that they use for the sound. There's that's make you how you call this? It's like a sound that they send out, and everybody is confused.
Yeah, it makes them like nauseous, and it gives you like it makes you go over.
Yeah.
And then they just come in and wipe you out, cut all your heads off.
But I'm asking me. I have the question if really the army or whatever, the NATO, come on the streets and they take the weapons or whatever. Gonna really? I don't know if the people are gonna stand up and say, "From now is it enough?" I don't know.
That's that's a good question. You know, that's a good. I think that's why they haven't done that in the United States yet. I think that they're afraid that if they did do that, that would spark the revolution. And so that's why they haven't done it.
I hope so. You know, because
they've taken away pretty much all my rights because I've been to prison. I'm a felon, so I have no. I cannot own a weapon. I cannot own a gun or whatever.
The most anons.
Yeah, I can never be a certified ethical hacker. The CEH. I can't get my. You can't be a white hat if you're a felon because you can't even associate with felon. It's crazy.
Yeah, the laws are different from Europe because here we have the right for everything. You have the right for protest, and we have a couple times that we did from the farmers. They had a protest and they throwing shit over spraying shit to the government house.
Oh, there you go.
They're throwing shit at the government house?
Yeah. I'm gonna send you this link. I'm gonna send you this link.
They drove one of those shit slingers right down the street,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sprayed the buildings. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's what we do. And also the fire department too. They fight to the cops and spray them with this white shit. For
white shit.
You know, yeah,
That's worse than
this
brown
white.
shit. That's white.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You guys did that in Belgium, right? With the protests.
Yeah, that's what we do. And also the farmers, the fire department.
We need a big bucket of sperm. We need a giant whole tank full of it.
All right, guys.
Bull sperm.
Guys, we need to wrap it up. We need to wrap it up. We're gonna go to the outro.
That'll learn him.
Yeah.
Drowned in sperm doesn't teach him nothing will. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, after
Just remember that the goal is for us all to capture all we want. Don't surround yourself with yourself.